Welcome to the Brian Lara Cricket Academy for this match between two teams here, the Rio Claro East Secondary girls team and the Rio Claro West Secondary girls team. So we've got a derby here on the way. I am Dinesh Mahabir and I'm joined today by Mr. Jelani Beckles, and we'll be providing coverage of this match today. Yeah, it's a really nice environment today. It's a little bit overcast, but we're great to have a start on time, no reduction in overs. And as you see on your screen there, the Rio Claro East Secondary girls in pink and blue, they're getting ready to bat. And that is because the Rio Claro West Secondary School won the toss and chose to bowl. Rupchand, Alicia Rupchand, Alicia Rupchand, Danisha Charles, Saraya Keval Singh, Maya Harris, Nimaya Rahim, Amy Gangaram, Christy Budu, Yelena Suku, and Alifa Hussein. So that's the team of the Rio Claro East, and you'll see them on your screen shortly. And I'm sure Mr. Beckles with me here has the Rio Claro West team lineup.
Was just letting you know this is a double header between Rio Claro West and Rio Claro East, because at 1:30 p.m. so said the umpires, they're trying to get a 1:30 start. Rio Claro West, Rio Claro East will clash in a boys T20 match. That will be the first round of the boys Porgian Boys Intercol T20 tournament. So it's a day of cricket between Rio Claro West and Rio Claro East.
Yeah, definitely. So alongside me, Mr. Jelani Beckles, I am Dinesh Mahabir. There we see on our screen the umpires are out. The outfield looks beautiful, grass on the pitch, and we're looking forward to a really exciting derby clash here today at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Of course, here we've had the Southern Sports T20 League happening at the venue, and just looking at the conditions, you know, it's a beautiful outfield. There's some thick grass on it, so I don't expect it to be extremely fast. And as you can see on your screen, the 30-yard dots there, the ropes are brought in for girls cricket, so it's a closer boundary in for this level of cricket.
Yeah, hopefully the girls can capitalize on those short boundaries and get a few fours and maybe even a few sixes, but time will tell.
So we're just about to get on the way as the umpires signal. It's the Rio Claro West winning the toss and choosing to bowl. Get started with a wide end. You can clearly see the marks there in red to give you a good guideline of what is wide and what isn't. So just warming up and getting through their strides now, Rio Claro West.
Just realized Danish had no fielders on the boundary, so trying to maybe the opening batsman could try and find the gaps, and once they could get the ball past the infield, they may be able to find the fence.
Another wide. So the bowler's just warming up a little bit. But I tell you what, Jelani, sometimes, you know, when you're going through the strides of getting warmed up and, you know, getting ready to bowl and you're not on the money, when you do get a good one in, it surprises the batsman. So the batter still has to be very alert at what is happening.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. Much better delivery there by the bowler. So a small crowd here, but a very entertaining one there. I've seen a Tassa group is out. I believe that's the Rio Claro East contingent. No, sorry, West. West is West in green here, so I've seen a lot of green in the stands, so they're open to see their team win this match.
So it looks like the opening bowler has found her line and length now. She's pretty much gotten straight, attacking the stumps, and the batter has been really watchful. This time pushing at one outside, so nice to see the contest getting on the way. But like you said, Jelani, it's a beautiful contingent from the Rio West team in their uniform, which reminds me a lot of the Guyana CPL uniform.
Yeah, definitely has some similarities with the green and so on, green and black.
If our viewers can hear that, there's a loud Tassa group, as you mentioned, just cheering them on. It really lifts the excitement levels here at the ground.
So Rio Claro East first runs off the bat there, so that will feel good.
Yeah, worked into the leg side. It was, like you said, everyone's in the circle. This one was thrown at the stumps, and I thought that was pretty close. So not the most convincing, but I'm sure it's a breath of relief. So that's the first over gone, and they've got off the mark, Rio Claro East.
I'm not sure yet what will be a competitive total. I guess they'll try to get close to 100 runs, considering the small boundaries.
Yeah, playing on this outfield, I would say in any form of cricket, I would say in a runner ball. So there's 120 balls in a game. I would say par score would be a 120. In this situation, being girls cricket with smaller boundaries, I'm not too sure about what the par scores have been, but it would change from venue to venue. But that would give you a good guideline. So I think you're right as well with about 100, just below the 120 mark. But I'm sure they would be aiming for at least 120.
Yeah, certainly, Dinesh. 120, of course, will be 6 runs and over. Oh, that's a nicely stare down to third man. Should get one. Will come back for 2. So good running here by the pair. It was intentionally hit down to third man. So just open the face of the bat. So very well played by the batter there.
Yeah, there you see the area and where it went. So it just got to the boundary rope. Fielder got there in time. Now we see the third man there.
Yeah.
Just off the rope. So the first fielder outside of the circle is in the third man region now.
Bit of sloppy work there by the wicket keeper. Rio West wicket keeper. So they get a batters scramble a by. It's already a nice opening partnership starting to build here.
I like the shape of this bowler from the northern end. She has a little bit of movement in the air and off the pitch. So that's why she's started in a good length outside off stump. But I just think if she can get it on the stump, she's going to be a handful. So I look forward to what she can do. As we've seen outside off stump, the batters have been okay to push at it. So that's why the third man fielder is there. But let's see how she goes now.
This one is hit I think not where she intended. She thinks she wanted to pull that one through the mid wicket region, but it went to point, but she escapes, no run.
Yeah, you can see the intention to go through the leg side there. She just wanted to flat bat it. In the end, it ended up like a guided cut.
Yeah.
But it's outside off some, so she should have been looking in that area, but that's a challenge at this level.
Similar shot attempted there, a swing and a miss, so dot delivery.
Now the batter looks a really strong person. If she's able to make contact, I have no doubt that it's going to go. But she is hitting in one direction. Seems like that one-track mind to get it into the leg side.
Yeah, choosing to play across the line. Let's see what approach will be on this occasion. Similar. Oh, and it dropped just short. A half a chance there. The fielder seemed to be a bit flat-footed. So the batter survives.
Yeah, that one was aerial, and it went to the fielder there, just forward a point. I tell you what, Jelani, that was a catch.
Yeah, the fielder was a bit didn't react as quickly as she should have.
Yeah, she was just stuck on her feet there, and it just fell in front of her.
This one goes down the ground. Is it a catch? She dives forward, and she claims the catch. Well, good feeling by the bowler. It is good caught and ball opportunity, and first wicket goes for RIO West. They're one down. Taking a look at the replay again. Yeah, so good. The first breakthrough for RIO CLARO West secondary.
So that's the breakthrough. We saw the batter during this inning looking to hit through the leg side. Most of the shots that she tried to play were coming from an area of looking to score cow corner or mid wicket, where the bowler was really consistent with the lines outside of the off stump. And that's why she made contact, but not into the area she wanted. It was either a bit too wide or a bit too straight for her when she made contact, and aerial as well. So a really brilliant catch from the bowler and a really good work from her. So it's a good inroads there. We can see why they chose to bowl first.
Yeah, a little disappointed she didn't try to play through the line and try to play through the offside, but she insisted on trying to get out one through the leg side, but didn't work out on this occasion.
Now I understand, I've seen it a lot of times, Jelani, where the stronger batters, they tend to back their ability to hit the ball from anywhere. And that can happen when we think of like a Chris Gale, or we think of maybe David Warner, maybe Nicholas Pooram. Wherever the ball is, they can hit it wherever they want to. That is just the nature of their timing, their technique, and their strength. But in this situation, like you mentioned, I think you hit the ball where it's coming from, straight down the ground. So just a little bit of a technical mishap, but I'm sure she's a capable batter. But in the end, the first wicket is down, and that brings a new batter to the crease. And RIO West have struck first.
Yeah, agree to Dinesh. As you mentioned, some of the big names, they of course have the ability and the experience to play anywhere they would like. But I think when as you said, when they're in the learning stages of the game, of course all these players will still be developing cricketers. They should try to play through the line, but she will learn from it and probably bounce back next game.
So we're back on the southern end into the third over now.
So 2 dot deliveries to start this over. Good steady stuff here from the bowler.
Yeah, good start. She's a little bit fuller, a little bit straight. So keeping bowl down, LBW in play, really consistent areas. So that means that the scoring areas might be straight back. You can't see it on the screen, but there's a mid on and mid off there.
Yeah, she's bang on target. She pulled a couple wides in that first over, but she's a lot straighter on this over. So I improved showing so far in this over, the second over.
Yeah, so I just think that if there is going to be runs scored here, it's probably going to be straight down the ground. I see the batter still tends to favor the leg side.
Yeah, now just looking at the field, the initial, there are 3 fielders on the offside, very close to each other, 5 in total on the offside, but 3 of them between point and extra cover, very, very close to each other. So getting runs on through the cover region may be difficult. A little more open, some more open spaces on the leg side.
Umpire Richmond Ramtahal there, just making sure that everything is in place before continuing.
This one is pulled away on. They thought of one, but I think correctly sent back, so no runs there.
Now we did see a catch put down, but the ground fielding has been good. It hasn't been able, in fact we almost saw a run out in the first over, so they look pretty sharp. The infield is packed, 5 on the off, 4 on the leg side.
Oh, this one is well played, just steered it through that gap. Well, she proved me wrong. I mentioned a brief moment ago, getting runs will be tough on the offside, but she really picked the gap well there and was able to push for 2 runs, so good shot there.
Yeah, that brings the end of the over. Let's see that shot again. Wider this time, so she was able to push at it. Control, like you said, you mentioned it was placed between that gap forward and backward of point. Well placed. It could have, and you see we didn't have the legs to go for 4, but they got the runs that they needed. So that brings the end of the third over. And you don't see the scorecard yet, but we anticipate that it will be up shortly to give you that information. It is a T20 game, so we're into the power play now, where you can have 2 people outside of the circle, but none are being used at this moment. Initially for this bowler, we saw a fine leg being used, so a third man, or would it be a third girl? But she's in the circle there, as you see. She picks up and gets it back to the keeper.
Yeah, Rio West not choosing to have all the players in the circle. So I said if the Rio East batters could find these gaps, there are runs to be scored. This one a little wider outside the off stump. No run scored.
Yeah, decent. This bowler's been consistent in those areas outside the off stump, inviting the batters to push at it away from the body. That's what they're doing. And when you do that, Jelani, there's not that much control, although we did see that in the previous over. So I maybe could think about a slip. But I like the area so far.
So it's just pushed onto the offside.
Really consistent from this bowler on the northern end. Just the third man, fine leg. 4 on the offside. Well, short cover, backward of point, forward of point, mid on, mid off. 1 in mid wicket. And there you go. Just that hint of movement away from the right-hander, and she played at it and almost got that edge. So I would think that maybe a slip could be utilized here.
Yeah, I think they should definitely consider putting a slip in place.
And the keeper could probably take a step up, and that take someone out from the leg side and get them into slip. But so far so good.
Oh, well, that one was a full toss. She would have hoping to capitalize more on that delivery, but it was well struck, but found the fielder.
Yeah. Nice attacking field. No defense outside of the circle. And even though that one slipped up, it was a full toss. Was unable to get it past the inner circle still.
Just want to struck through the offside, but again, good fielding. Rio Claro West can really ask for more support here, Dinesh. This Tassa group has been playing even before the first ball was bowled this morning, so they really come out in the numbers to support their school.
Yeah, they were here pretty early just to get the proceedings started and to show that start. They've picked up a key wicket and they're really reducing the runs. The fielders look sharp and the supporters must be loving it.
Yeah, certainly. And again, as mentioned a while ago, we're working to get the scores up for you all, and just should have that up in a few moments so you could follow the scores here live on 360 TV. Well, it's just a little situation where the music being played very loudly at the ground. I don't think the umpires are too pleased with the volume of the music. Yeah, it's causing a delay, Dinesh. Okay, the music has finally stopped, so we can get the game going again. This one, Bata pushes it, thought about pushing that one on the offside, didn't get a touch on it. Well, she was fortunate not to get a touch there because could have found the edge to the wicketkeeper, but no run.
Good areas so far. You can see what she's trying to do here, the bowler. But also extremely watchful from the batter. And there you see that little shot that she's just thinking about going leg side as she shadowed that shot. In fact, there's no one outside of the circle on the leg side. If she can get it over that cow corner region, would be pretty safe. Let's see how it goes.
This one is wide down the leg side.
But there is some movement on offer if you see that delivery. So when she does line it up, it can be a handful. That's why we've seen this batter be extremely watchful to her. And even though she's bowling straight sometimes, it can be that it ends up on the leg stump, giving the opportunity to score on the leg side.
This one is another defensive shot by the batter. This opener she has looked good for her time at the crease, not taking too many chances, not too many risks. But they will need to get a move on soon. This is a T20 contest. This one is again wide down the leg side, so a bit wayward in this over from the bowler.
I think she's trying to attack the stumps a little bit more, and just the movement and her angle is just pushing it down. The Rio Claro East girls team wouldn't mind that because they're really looking for some runs at the moment.
This one is again not getting the timing that she would have liked, so no more runs to the total. So but an even start here in this match. 1 wicket down for Rio East.
Oh, there you see a little bit of gamesmanship, tying the shoelaces of the opponents, making sure it's all good.
Well, yeah, let's hope she's not trying to tie one lace onto the other shoe, because that will cause a little bit of... But this one is pull and she's bowled. Yeah, she tried to pull that one, get that one down to the long on region, but failed to make contact and she's bowled. So second wicket goes. Take a look at the replay here, Dinesh.
Yeah, look at the trajectory on that one. It looked like the pitch around middle and leg. and the movement took it all the way to hit off stump. So that was the movement I was speaking about earlier, and she got it right. Brilliant plan from her. That's really difficult delivery to play. That batter was always a little bit watchful, so it's a big blow here with 2 wickets down now in the power play. We're into the 5th over, and Rio Claro West are really doing a good job here.
Yeah, Rio East will need a partner. Well, you've seen the fans here of Rio Claro West. They are up we have the flags, they have the tassel drums. They are doing everything they can to cheer on their team today. So they will be happy just taking a look at the replay once more.
Look at this, a little bit of drift through the air, a little bit of movement off the pitch, and it lines up a trajectory of leg stump, it looked like there from the straighter angle, and hit off stump. I mean, that one might have got me as well, Jelani.
Yeah, well, I know you were a very competent batsman in your day, Dinesh, but yeah, I think that may have also given you some trouble.
That's a really good delivery. I like the look of the uniforms there. Look at that. The Western Wolves, the Rio Claro West girls team, and we'll see the boys team later on today as they clash in the derby match after this one, so stay tuned for that. If you're from Rio Claro, you'll be on 360 all day. We got that content for you. But really good start from Rio Claro West. Their bowlers have been spot on, and the batters for Rio Claro East have not been able to make any huge inroads. However, this number 91, surveying the field as you see, I can already get the feeling that she can hit the ball.
Yeah, very. Oh, well, he shows her intent immediately. The fielder at a sort of short fine leg position it was a half chance, but it sailed got just overhead and goes for 4. So the first boundary of the innings for Rio Claro East.
Short, wide, put. Look how close that was. She almost got her hands to it, but by the time she got there, it was already through. And a risky shot, but it gets 4 runs. So that is 4 crucial runs here in the power play. 1 over left in the power play. That's 5 overs gone now. So we're going to see the final over of the power play. We're also going to see a change in bowling. A little bit surprisingly, I thought the bowler on this northern end did really well for a start. Maybe they're saving her for the finish. But that impetus that is needed from the new batter is definitely what was needed earlier on in this inning.
Yeah, not taking any time at all to settle down. Didn't even take 2 or 3 balls to settle in. First ball, struck it for 4. Half-hearted appeal for LBW. Not out, says the umpire.
Yeah, going down the leg side, but I like the look of this bowler as well. Lots of movement here through the air and off the pitch as well, coming into the right-hander. So a little bit of a handful again. We've got some overcast conditions. The ball is very new, so there could be some swing and some movement on offer from Ramnarine here.
Yeah. Well, a quick single here taken, and just gets home in time.
So just to confirm, this bowler on the northern end is Cassie Ramnarine, getting some prodigious swing here. And so there we see number 52, Cassie Ramnarine, right hand over the wicket now. It's going to be an interesting matchup with this new batter on strike, who's look like no nonsense.
Yeah,
looks pretty strong as well. Ramnarine's been getting some good swing here in the few deliveries we've seen.
This one, an attempted cut, doesn't make contact. But yeah, this new batter is really, I have a feeling if she sticks around for at least 6 or 7 overs, they could really push the score along quite quickly here. If you're now joining us, this is live coverage on 360 TV between Rio Claro West Secondary and Rio Claro East in this girls T20 contest. It's a day of Rio Claro battles, Dinesh, because of course, as you mentioned, the boys T20 match is scheduled to bowl off at 1:30 p.m. this afternoon. That is also expected to be a keen battle. Paramnarine bowls this one. And this one is it's hit through the offside. It should find the fence, and it's 4 more. So second boundary of the innings. What do you think of that shot there, Dinesh? Take a look at the replay.
Let's have a look. Short, outside off stump. Got the rooms to get the hands through it. And that's going to be 4 over the infield for 4. So that's what's needed from the Rio East team. And she got away with it. You know, again, I think this batter is really competent in placing the ball where she wants to hit it. And she just got under it and got it over.
Yeah, second boundary of the innings. Does Ramnarine have a response? Well, more runs here. They will get 1. Well, not the best running there from the batting pair.
So wide signal as well. So a couple of runs added to the scoreboard. Much needed runs now. I just think that this batter that was on strike could have been utilized a bit more in the power play. This is, of course, the last over of the power play. And you can utilize more boundary fielders. But that being said, there's not much difference because we haven't seen the boundary fielders be utilized anyway. So and the bowlers have been pretty spot on. Apart from a couple of wides, I think that they've been dominating the game so far. And now we're seeing Rio East starting to get back in it with the bat.
Ramnarine. This one is well driven, but straight to the fielder.
Lovely shot that. Good cricket shot. Fielder did very well to stop it, even though it was straight to her. It was struck pretty convincingly. And that's going to bring the end of the power play of this inning. And these two are looking well poised, these two batters. But it has to be said that right now, Rio West girls team definitely have the upper hand.
Yeah, Rio West already getting 2 pretty early wickets. But Rio East showing some fight here.
Yeah, there we see Richmond Ramtahal, the umpire, signaling the end of that power play. Alongside him, joining him in the umpiring, is also Ishmael Hussein. He will be at square leg now. He's doing the northern end. And that's Mr. Ramtahal on the southern end. So the opening bowler will continue into the power play now. She's going to be into her 4th over.
So you've seen two fielders on the leg side, just almost to the boundary. So actually 3 fielders outside the circle on the leg side. No fielders on the offside outside the circle. So interesting feel here. This one is wide, no, not called a wide, so she gets away with that one.
Yeah, not a bad option. Like you mentioned, there's backward of point close to the boundary. There's square on the leg side close to the boundary, and there's a mid-on close to the boundary as well. They're not all the way on the row. I would say they're about 3/4 way in. But then with those leg side fields out, she's stepped up with some offside bowling. So interesting here. That one adjudged to be just inside. The batter put a big stride down the wicket. She's just resetting her stance now. But because she committed straight down the wicket, she was unable to reach it wide of the outside off stump.
Yeah, she looked at the umpire. She was hoping for, she thought a wide should have been given, but not given by the umpire. This one is, so runs here for the Rio East. You get a single.
And there you see the leg by signaled. So that one was into the pads on the leg stump, and that's why the leg side field is spread a little bit, because this bowler gets movement away from the right-hander, but she's intent on pitching a little bit straighter sometimes to get and entice that shot from the right-hander, which has worked out when she got her last wicket. And that's the challenge that she comes with now. But for this batter, they've brought in the field.
This one is struck down the ground.
Really nice cricket shot that. I can see why she's been chosen to open the batting, because she seems technically sound. It's just unable to get those singles as needed. I think if she's able to get the strike and put the other batter on strike, they can really build a partnership here.
This one struck down the ground, well struck again. They'll get one on this occasion.
Yeah, so said, so done. So she pushes into mid-off and takes on the fielder, as they should, to get that single and put the aggressor on strike. So some good cricket building here now. It seems they're getting into their strides, Rio East.
Oh yeah. Rio West will have to continue to take regular wickets to sort of limit them to a modest score.
Oh, good areas, good cricket here. Difficult to score from that. I haven't seen a lot of shots down the ground, Jelani. And that one was a good length on off stump, and it's going to bring the end of the 7th over. So a really, really good level of cricket building up here now. In T20, momentum can swing any way. We've seen that Rio West have dominated this game from the start, and Rio East are creeping their way back in with these two batters. And again, another change in bowling as we see the original bowler from the northern end returning.
And just confirming, Dinejad, the batter who came out a short while ago, who is showing a lot of good intent. She is Saraya Kiwal Singh.
So that's Kiwal Singh on the non-strikers end, wearing 91 as you see. And the bowler taking it up on the northern end is Azaria Mullah. She opened the bowling and was very effective with some decent and consistent areas. She's going to continue now.
Or just pushing a bat outside the off stump there. Very dangerous shot there.
Good channel there, and there we see Soraya coming down to have a chance. A slip in place if she's going to continue in that channel. Let's see what the batter is going to do to combat it.
So when it struck down the ground, well, it's dropped. It was a sharp catch. The short extra cover fielder couldn't hang on, and the batter survived. So it remains 2 wickets down. It was a very difficult chance, but she did well to stop it. That could have run to the fence if she didn't get a hand on it there.
Oh, this one's beaten the keeper. It's beaten the batter. It's beaten the keeper, and it's gone all the way for 4 byes. There's the signal from umpire Hussein. Fuller delivery, angled into the right-hander. The drive missed. The keeper was caught by surprise, and it's going to be 4.
Yeah, that's our 3rd boundary scored in this innings. This one not off the bat, 4 byes. The keeper will have to try to shake that one off quickly. Not her best work, but
yeah, it was full and it kept a little low. So when it passed the stump, after the shot of the batter, keeper would have been thrown off a bit and getting to it. And there we see on the screen, you can see the fielder at 3rd man position.
just want to stare down the leg side. Great shot. It might find a fan, and it does. And so 2nd boundary of the over. Very well played. She just opened the face of the bat and stared it down to find leg for 4. Take a look here again at the replay, Dinesh. It was very well timed. And yeah, the fielder didn't have a chance there. 4 more.
Yeah, nice shot. A little bit straighter from Mullah, and the batter was onto it. Got a good clip to it. Now we see that the fine leg is in place outside the circle in a 3/4 position. You can just see it there next to the 360 logo. We've got the 3rd man position a little bit straighter now. So those are the only 2 fielders outside of the circle. There, the bowler's giving some instructions, just making sure that they're in place. She's coming a little bit straighter now, Mullah.
More runs here. They'll push a single. Brings Kiwal Singh back on strike.
Great cricket there from Rio Claro East. So this partnership is really budding now. It's building, and they're getting into their strides. So this is what they need now to put up a competitive total. So they struggled a bit in the power play with their batting, but they're definitely building here now.
Yeah, Rio West certainly be thinking of a breakthrough here. It brings a dangerous Kiwalsing. Kiwalsing is now back on strike. She's look good. Kiwalsing, big drive from Kiwalsing.
Wow. Big shot there. And I think this is the areas that Muller has been really effective. When she's bowled wide outside the off stump and invited those shots, she's managed to have some dot balls there because the batters have not been able to capitalize in that area. When you come a little bit straighter, they tend to go leg side or they tend to make contact with it. But I think playing away from the body is the way to go for these bowlers here, and it's what's been effective so far. But we've got 8 overs gone now, Jelani, and we see that Rio East are climbing their way back into this game.
Yeah, certainly so. Just mentioned that previous bowler here. You see a lot of bowlers now in T20 cricket in each day. Try to bowl deliveries wide of the off stump, not too wide, so it isn't called a wide. You see West Indies medium pacer, Romario Shepherd, use it quite effectively in recent years. So it's a strategy used by a lot of T20 bowlers. It's a risky strategy because you can be called for wide at times, but it's been working out so far for Rio East using that strategy. Rio West, sorry.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, in T20 cricket globally, it is a strategic move, especially sometimes in the death bowling when bowlers are really going after you, sometimes in the first power play as well. You just tend to go wider, let them throw their arms at it. Now, there are also some very adept batsmen who will destroy those wide deliveries, but in the end of the day, it's all situational, and we see it very effective here as there's a bowling change on the southern end and a dot ball to start.
Kiwalsing has shown her intent, but both batters really turning up there, really increasing the scoring rate here. This one is shrugged down the ground. More runs here, should get 1. They'll think of 2, but it's kept at 1. Good fielding there because the fielder had to run from a mid-on position into the mid-off region, so well done there by the fielder to keep it to 1.
Well, looked like a catch there, Jelani, just looking at that replay. A low catch that she couldn't get into, but she was into her follow-through, and it kept low, hitting her actually on the boot and just peeling away after that.
So the dangerous Kiwalsing back on strike. Tries to cut out. It's called a wide.
Yeah, rightly so. So those are the channels, but she missed it, which is the point that we were making earlier, where it can be effective here, and we've seen it effective today, where the straighter deliveries are easier to access by the batters, and the fuller delivery, the wider deliveries have not been able to be capitalized upon. So with this bowler from the southern end, it'll be interesting to see what she comes up with there. Keeping that channel.
Kiwalsing another play and a miss.
So they're going to have a talk about it now.
Kiwalsing makes contact on this occasion, but picks out the field at backward point.
Well, let me show you this shot again here, Jelani. If you look at the batter, she's actually outside leg stump and takes a step or 2 across this time. So that's the adjustment that she made to be able to get closer to the ball. So I was just going to mention it, but after their little discussion, you can see she's batting on leg stump or even outside leg stump, it seems like. And there she's walking across now, still unable to get to the contact that she wants, but the intent is there. At least she has the idea of knowing what needs to be done. Had that one connected, that one would have raced to the boundary through extra cover. But this is a really good challenge here from the bowler, who's also maintaining that line really consistently.
Yeah, nice little battle here between the two here. So we'll see how this battle. Yes, and this one she definitely makes, and that goes away to the boundary for 4. So no doubt about that one. It raced to the fence. Probably the shot of the day so far.
Yeah, let's look at it again. You can see she walks across, bigger stride this time, and right there in that extra cover region for 4 runs. So the adjustment, it took a while for them to make it, but the results have paid off now. And after that little mini discussion they had, we saw the adjustment being made by Soraya almost immediately. I just think that the next batter in red should do that as well, because she has struggled outside the off stump as well. So let's see if in this over she can continue to do that, because it seems like she's the one that gave the advice.
Yeah, this partnership really really fruitful now. A really productive partnership here. The Rio West will be hoping they really need a breakthrough here. This partnership seems dangerous. They can't, if these two could stick around for a few more overs, they could really get way past 100 runs in this innings. Nice to see continuous discussion between Kiwal Singh and her batting partner.
So we're going to have another change here on the northern end from the bowling. This time it's the captain, Arabella Phillip, wearing the number 12. So she's going to be introduced. We could see spin for the first time today.
Yeah, a lot of medium pace on show so far.
So the batter now just remarking that middle stump. And looks like we're going to have the first introduction of spin. The captain saving herself now for the middle.
This one is struck on the leg side, but should actually the sneaker single. It'll be a close. All right, and she just gets in. They say don't run following a misfield, but they took the chance and they got home in the end. So brings Kiwal Singh back on strike.
Well, looks like wrist spin, Jelani, and that one was full on the leg side, so they got one, not very convincingly. Oh, that is beautiful. When she gets it right, it looks like a handful. Not a lot of turn, really, but that was spot on. And it kept the batter very watchful there. You can see that she's not accustomed being bogged down, this batter. Dot balls are not what she deals with. But I really like the action of Phillip here.
Yes, unlucky there, just straying down the leg side.
Yeah, it looks like she's attacking the stump, but with wrist spin in this position, you would just think that she would want to be on off stump, really, for the ball to be leaving the right-hander. So that one coming back in, was that a googly? Really good areas now. When she gets it right, looks like a real handful here, Phillip.
Yeah, bang on top. They'll get another quick single here. They get home in the end here. So keen battle here between Phillip and Kiwal Singh. Kiwal Singh looks like a real competent batter, sorry.
Absolutely, and importantly in this format, T20, she seems to have the ability to put away the balls. And that's what's needed now from Rio Claro East to really continue their building up their total. You see Captain Phillip here now.
Bang on target again.
Really excellent bowling here from Phillip.
Yeah, leading from the front. The skipper, the Rio West skipper. Still just one fielder outside the circle.
I tell you what, Jelani, unless my eyes are deceiving me, she's bowling right arm leg spin and she's bowling a lot of googlies. Almost as if she bowls more googlies than genuine leg spin. Now, I probably have to look at her release position a little better just to confirm that it is leg spin, because it's really shocking to me. It's almost like Rashid Khan where he bowls more googlies than leg spin. But she's been on the money, and that brings the end of 10 overs, and that brings a water break in proceedings. So we're back here at Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Rio Claro East girls team versus Rio Claro West girls team. We're 10 overs in. Rio Claro East are 2 wickets down. They're batting at the moment. And Rio Claro West are going to continue with the ball. Alongside me, Mr. Jelani Beckles is joined. And we'll be bringing you the proceedings so far.
Yeah, Dinesh, a pretty even contest so far. No team really dominating proceedings here. It'll be interesting to see how the second half of the first innings proceeds. Just want to thank my co-worker Sachin for informing me that Arabella Phillip, the captain of
another wide there, and that's, as you see on the screen, that's Melody McPherson bowling. But she's got Melody, but she's trying to find her rhythm right now. Meanwhile, on strike, Soraya Kawal Singh, 13 from 17. Maya Hari, 17 from 21. She's been there from the start.
Kewal Singh pushes this one on the offside. He'll get one. So another one to Kewal Singh.
Yeah, better from her. She was struggling initially, Kawal Singh, to score outside the off stump. So nice to see her make that adjustment, because McPherson is consistent with that line outside off stump. So she's going to have to do something to get to make contact and get those runs. Nice to see it. Let's see how Hari continues now, if she's able to do the same thing.
Another wide called, so struggling to find her proper consistent line and length here, McPherson.
Yeah, there you see it on your screen. 3 wides now. But you see, projected score of 89, Jelani. I know you mentioned 100. They'll be happy to get to that 100 or 120 mark. We're at the halfway stage now.
Yeah, certainly. I think they'll be looking at 100 runs minimum, batting first on this ground.
This partnership is doing really well, and that's what I like to see now. Hari as well, driving that one outside off stump. Although it was to the fielder is pretty deep there on the 30-yard circle, so they were able to get one. The outfield, the grass is like a thick carpet out there, so it does hold up a bit in the outfield.
Kewal Singh pushes this one. Well, she was halfway down the wicket and was called back.
Well, that was definitely a run there. They ran the previous one, which was very similar. In this situation, they could have gotten one, but Hari was just standing there. She didn't even move.
Yeah, that could have ended in a disaster, but it didn't, so still 2 wickets down. McPherson continues. This one is again another mix-up, but the fielding team, they threw it to the wrong end.
Well,
Kewal Singh was down the ground, almost got to her partner Hari at the other end.
Yeah, well, that's just poor running there, Jelani. It got worse after the last delivery. Look at this. Hari's in red. Kewal Singh strikes it into the offside, goes for the single. Hari also took off, but then stopped and sent her back. She was almost there. Now that one was not a single, as you saw the throw come in, but both of them took off. Loud shout for LBW
given. Oh, it is. So the Rio West gets the dangerous Kewal Singh. She has to return to the pavilion. She tried to pull that one to the leg side, but failed to make contact, and she has to return to the pavilion. So they finally get the breakthrough. You see a look at the gain at the replay here. I'm not sure height may be an issue there, but she has to go.
Well, look, she's also saying that she wasn't happy with the height.
Yeah.
To be honest, it does look from our angle like a little bit high. But I'll tell you who has the best angle. That's the umpire. And we have to trust his decision out there.
Yeah, Kiwalsing visibly upset. You see her pointing at. She seemed to got struck above the pad. So most times when you're struck above the pad, it most times will go over the stumps. But umpire's decision is final. She has to return to the pavilion. So 3 down now. Rio Claro East.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Jelani, she should have made contact with that one. So to just dispel any doubt, and she was unable to make contact. So the decision goes. The umpire's decision stands, and he has the best view in the house. So we trust his decision in that. But it's a big blow from Rio Claro West, just as Rio Claro East were building some momentum. But I tell you what, 3 balls, 3 potential singles that were not taken, miscommunication between the batters leads to pressure, and in the end, Kawalsing missed that one on the 4th delivery. Now that could have gone a much different had the running been tight. I saw Harry run a quick single earlier in that over, and in a similar way deny Kawalsing a similar signal. There were a couple of signals that were not on, but that communication, I thought that really set them back a little bit in that partnership. But here's the new batter, Angelina Rupchan.
Yeah, I agree with Dinesh. The communication between Harry and Kewalsing was very poor in this over so far, so they'll want to take a look at that moving forward. This one is pushed on the offside. No run yet.
Positive start there.
Yeah, Rio West, a vital breakthrough there because Kewalsing she looked good for the time she spent in the middle. Showing good intent. But they'll have to rebuild now. 47 for 3. Rio Claro East batting first.
Well, the bowling has been exceptional, has to be said. There have been a few wides, as would be expected at this level. But for the most part, they've restricted most of the boundaries, and they've made the batters work for their runs. Singles have been difficult to come by, boundaries have been difficult to come by. But that being said, Rio East has done pretty well here to get to 47. And runs on the board are runs on the board. You're going to have something to defend that. But we'll see Harry, who's been here from the start, has shown some decent technical capability. And we'll see that Azaria Mula is back from this northern end.
Harry plays defensively, and she's out. And she's out.
Yeah, she's bowled actually, Jelani. She played the ball down, and it continued its momentum onto the stump, rolled onto the stump, and as you can see, just clipped that bail, and she's bowled.
Yeah, Harry seemed a bit slow to react. She could have had a chance probably to kick that ball away, but she didn't. Oh well, as soon as she looked back, it was too late, and the off bail was already dislodged. Good sportsmanship showed there by Muller. She just sort of gave Harry a tap on her back saying tough luck there, but she has to return to the pavilion. So Rio West really back into this contest. 4 wickets down, Rio Claro East.
Well, that is all down to the skill of Azaria Muller. The way that she released from her wrist position and the finger position sliding on the ball means that in that delivery you saw that the ball hit and went away from the right-hander. But the wrist position and the movement of the ball kept the ball rolling even after it was played down, and it kept rolling with that momentum onto the stump, clipped the bail. The batter, Harry, was not onto it, unable to have her reflexes kick that one away. She was just as surprised as anyone else when it clipped the bail. So full credit to the bowler on that one. A little bit of more awareness from Harry was needed in the running as well. I think she did well, looked really comfortable, but now Rio Claro East are in a tough position, Jelani, because they have 2 new batters at the crease, and they're going to have to start to build a partnership from scratch again.
Yeah, certainly. 4 wickets down now, still not yet 50 runs on the board, so they will need to rebuild here. Azaria Mula, as my colleague Sachin told me a moment ago, Mula has a lot of experience playing at a high level. She's a TNT under-19 women's cricketer, Mula, so she certainly has a lot of experience, and she's showing it here. She has really good bowling here from Mula. But so it's Alicia Rupchan comes to the crease now. Let's see how she goes. Muller. This one is wide, and they'll get a sneaker by as well. So 2 more runs to the total. So 2 Rupchans at the crease. Now we'll try to confirm for you all if they are related.
Muller has been really good. 2 for 13 now into her 4th over.
Angelina drives at this one. Goes through to the keeper.
I would have loved to see a slip and play for Muller here. He's got that fine third man you can see on his screen in that position. Got a fine leg as well. Not on the ropes, they're just outside of the circle, both of them. But it is Angelina on strike right now. So we'll have to go by the first name since they share the same last name. Muller's in. Oh, what a great delivery. She's allowed appeal for caught behind, but it doesn't look like that any contact was made. The keeper didn't go up at all. But a really good delivery. It was worth an appeal, I would say that.
Yeah, I'll see that around the 4th stump, 5th stump region, Dinesh. Almost making the Angelina play at that one, and very good line and length here by Muller. Good stuff from her.
Yeah, almost clipped that off stump. That one came back in. So Muller able to move the ball both ways.
Another dangerous one outside the off stump play, and a miss again. So good stuff here from Muller.
Muller's been the pick of the bowlers today. Started absolutely spot on, bang on target, and outside off stump, and kept consistent with her areas. Got rewards as well with 2 wickets. And we can see just how dangerous she is here now in these middle overs.
Can the Rupchan pair respond? Another play and a miss, so pressure building here for Rio Claro East, batting first here against Rio Claro West.
Tentative push outside off stump there from Angelina. Even if she had made contact with that, it wouldn't have gone far. I think it's more about timing that she should be looking for here. But Muller definitely has the upper hand. There's 1 more left in this over.
This one is shot over. She runs here. They'll get 1. They'll come back for 2. Actually, no, well, really, that's poor running there. There were at least 2 runs there up for grabs, but they only took 1.
The ball just came back in to end the over. And that was the first time that Angelina was able to get the line and the length that she had to kind of get under it and play a shot to it. It was aerial, but in the safe area, so they got 1. Should have been 2. That's 50 up for Rio Claro East after 12 overs.
Yeah, and looking at Azaria Muller's, that was a 4th and final over, 2 for 14. So really excellent bowling figures here by Muller. She's leading from the front, certainly.
I tell you what, there were a couple of bowlers used, because we see the captain Philip coming from the southern end now. She is one of them. And there was another bowler used as well who just bowled 1 over, and they looked solid bowlers as well. So they have a really tight bowling unit. No surprise why they want, you can see, and they back their bowling abilities, and rightly so, and they've got the reward. So 12 overs gone, 50 for 4. I would just give Rio Claro West, the bowling unit, the upper hand here.
Yeah, I agree, Dinesh. So Philip continues to Angelina.
Well, not a judge to be wide. That was a full toss outside off stump. And Alicia, is it Angelina on strike? Yes, it is. Angelina on strike. And she just drifted outside off stump, but unable to make contact.
Chiffon straight to the fielder.
So now that I'm able to see the captain Arabella Phillip from this position, it's clearly wrist spin, back of the arm, and when she pitches it, boy, is she a handful. What a interesting talent. I think she has all the capabilities to be a top bowler. Where she started a little bit fuller, but when she uses the pitch like this, she can be a handful.
This one is driven down. It'll go close to the fence, and it does. So 4 runs to Angelina. That will break the shackles a bit. There's been a slow period for Rio Claro East after following the fall of Harry and Kiwal Singh.
Yeah, she's been a bit fuller this over, Philip, and punished for it. That one was straighter, that one was full, and a beautiful shot there from Rupchan for 4. Great timing, but it was there to be hit, it has to be said. So not the best from Philip, but a really special talent here, Philip. Great action.
This one is pulled, and
it's
a half-hearted appeal for an LBW decision.
Kind of hit in the same area where we saw the previous batter dismissed from. So interesting that they did an appeal for that one. Looks like it hurt a bit as well.
Swing and a miss there by Angelina.
So that brings the end of the over by Philip there. 54 for 4 now, Rio Claro East secondary girls team. And there you see the bowling figures. Azaria Muller bowled 4, 2 for 14. Perez got 1 for 11 from her 4. And we're going to see a return from one of the previous bowlers, Ramnarayan, it looks like, who had bowled 1 over previously. She's going to come in now from the northern end. We're also going to see Alicia Rupchan, who is yet to get off the mark. It's been all Angelina so far.
Yeah, Alicia will be hoping to pick the gaps here and keep the scoreboard ticking over. I'm not sure what will be their goal as a target now. They've lost a couple quick wickets. They'll definitely try to get as close to 100 as possible. So it's played on the offside. No runs here.
Cassie Ramnarayan, ball leaving the left-hander. Ball gets a little bit of air, gets a little bit of movement, and then bounces and leaves the left-hander here. Alicia was looking leg side. In the end, she ended up playing it a bit late through the offside. But what's interesting, what stands out is she looks like she's batting on an off stump and is blocking the entire wicket. Well, actually, she's come back a bit. Big swing outside off stump with that trajectory of Ramnarayan. In fact, that's given a wide.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit surprising there.
Yeah. Seemed a bit close to that line, but Ramnarayan. This one is struck on the outside, so more runs here for Rio Claro East. They get 1, they'll come back for 2. Yeah, so 2 runs added to the total.
Well, that may have been the first double of the inning. Hit over the infield by Alicia Rupchan, and there's no one out there, so they were able to get 2. So that's good running from them, good intent from them. Ramnarayan with the ball leaving the left-hander now. It's always going to be on the cards, that scoring area, so she's going to try to be a little bit closer here. And this is what I was talking about with Alicia Rupchan batting on off-stump there. Her toes look like it's on line with off-stump. Looks like she's blocking the entire wicket.
Yeah, she is.
As a bowler, I may want to be a bit straighter seeing that. Keep that LBW in play. Maybe she's doing that to access the ball, which has been a little bit wide of off stump for her. Either way, it's quite interesting.
This one similar shot attempted, but goes through to the keeper.
That one not adjudged to be wide there by umpire Hussein. So fine margins here now. But have we seen so far this day, Jelani, that the balls outside off stump have been a difficult area for the batters, especially the wider ones.
Alicia hit this one, makes contact this time, and just 1 bounce on 4, so almost saw the first 6 of the innings, but they'd have to settle for the 4. It's turning out to be a productive over for Rio Claro East.
Well, that one was way too short, and you can see the movement leaving the batter, so she got full swing of the arms, and that one was caressed over the top into the boundary for 4. that breaks the shackles a bit, and that gets these two going now because they're building a partnership from scratch here, and they're doing it well.
And with that boundary, Dinesh, you're seeing an immediate switch in the field. You're seeing the long mid-off position is now back to the long off, right on the boundary.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of that. It's been a little bit reactive, but not bad because they've maintained attacking fields. So yes, reactive because that one was hit over the top, but I think the bowler's been pretty good so far.
This one is driven in the air. A chance for a catch here, but it will land safely.
So that one was a little bit fuller, so she couldn't get under it, Alicia Rupchan. So it went very aerial. In fact, where mid-off just was, it landed right there. So neither the close catcher inside or long off was able to get to it. So 14 overs gone now. Rio Claro East are 62 for 4.
Yeah, solid partnership starting to build here after the fall of Hari and Kewal Singh, the Rupchan pair. Really nice partnership developing, so it'll be interesting to see how many runs they can score here in the final 6 overs. Still 6 wickets in hand.
Captain Phillip will continue on the southern end. Right arm wrist spin coming around the wicket this time. Really effective here. The batter missed it completely. And it looks like it may have hit her leg.
Yeah, that one was close to hitting the stumps as well.
Yeah, surprised there was no appeal there. May have just missed her. It missed the keeper as well. Let's see on the replay. Yeah, nice view of her grip. Good camera work there. Yeah, missed it completely. That's why there was no appeal. Bounce and turn. Going down the leg side. Keeper didn't have a chance either. Really skillful here, Philip. Oh,
so an appeal for LBW. And Alicia survives.
That one's going down leg. You can tell if you can judge from the turn of the previous delivery. Look at the trajectory here. Wow, just hit outside leg stump. But huge turn there. She's really giving it some revs.
This one is play and she's bowled. So Philip gets the breakthrough. Alicia Rupchan has to return to pavilion. Philip has bowled well for the entire day. She gets a second wicket. And 5 down now, Rio Claro East.
Excellent delivery here from the captain, Arabella Phillip. Let's look at this again. Flighted, bounce. Looks like it hit the pads, did it? But at the end of the day, it ended up on the stumps. And that's what matters. A big strike there as Rio Claro West continue to make inroads. Leading from the front, the Arabella Phillip. Yeah, beautiful delivery. Unable to make any contact there. Good skill set here. And the captain gets a key wicket here now. So she's got a couple left in this over, but it brings a new batter to the crease. And again, breaks any momentum that Rio Claro East were building.
Yeah, the partnership was starting to blossom there between the Rupchans. So a vital breakthrough here by Philip and Rio Claro West. Still more than 5 overs, so to be bold. So if they could at least bat out these remaining 5.2 overs, they can still get up to a decent total. Seeing the projected score 85, they'll be hoping for more than that.
Yeah, definitely. So we get things back on the way with the new batter, Alicia Ashley Ali. And the skipper of Rio Claro.
So Ali, nice shot to start. Didn't find the gap.
So just the one delivery left in this over.
Philip to Ali, an appeal for LBW. And she's given And he's so 2 wickets in the over for Philip. Excellent stuff here by Philip. And another Ali has to go for a duck.
Well, she walked across outside off stump. It may have made contact. We can't really see there, but we have to give the umpire the benefit that it may have made contact just in line with off stump. Of course, it is leg spin, which will be turning back into the stumps. Let's have a look again. The trajectory was always angled into the legs, so she's been getting some prodigious turn, but I just think that one would have struck just outside the line of off stump. Going on to hit the stumps, well, she has to go, unable to make any inroads there, and the captain, Arabella Phillips, strikes again, and it brings the end of her 3rd over. She's 2 for 11.
Yeah, Rio Claro West starting to inch themselves in front here in this contest. 6 wickets down now. Rio Claro East batting first. Still the 5 overs remaining, so Rio Claro East may be thinking, now, can we bat out these remaining 5 overs to get ourselves as close to 100 as possible. Daniela Duki is the new batter.
Yeah, she's wearing the name Ella on her back, so I was just wondering which player that was. That explains it. But Ramnarayan is back from the northern end.
Pulling to Rupchan, so that wayward delivery down the leg side.
Are judged to be wide, so she was bowling to the change her trajectory a bit. In fact, you can see she's just run a bit wider here to change that, as this one clips the pad and then the bat. So she's changed her run up a little bit, Ramnarayan, to the right hander to release from a wider position, rightly so.
Ramnarayan. This one is driven in the air. It lands safely. They'll get 1.
Yeah, pushed in the aerial route through the offside there. Angelina Rupchan has been there for a little while now. It got a decent start, so she's able to make contact and keep the scoreboard ticking. She lost her partner a couple of times, and it's brought Daniela Duki now to face her first delivery.
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, Dinesh, Rio Claro West, their uniforms are similar to Guyana Amazon Warriors, and also the Rio East, they sort of look like the Barbados Royals out there. So this is not the CPL. This is, if you're now tuning in, this is action in the girls T20 competition. This one is driven, so runs here. They'll get 1. They'll think of 2. They decide to stop at 1.
Diving stop there in the outfield. With the ball coming into the right-hander, when she pushed at it, it went through the leg side with the trajectory of the ball, so it just went wide of the field and gave them the opportunity for 1. So Duki off the mark there, brings Angelina Rupchan back on strike.
Rupchan plays at this one, can't make contact, so dot delivery.
That's what we've seen all day, Jelani.
Yep.
The deliveries outside the off stump have been difficult for the batters to get a reach of. They're unable. We saw a little bit of an adjustment from a couple of the batters, taking some steps across to meet it. But Ramnarayan is really causing some trouble here outside the off stump.
Rupchan hits this one. It will land safely. They get 1. They stay at 1. So another 1 to the total.
Well, that one was hit to Tobago because it landed in no man's land, but there was nobody under it. It cleared the inner circle. So as it came a little bit straighter, started outside off stump, came a little bit straighter, got under it. Decent hit to get 1. 66 for 6 now. 4 overs remaining in this game, or in this inning. and the current run rate at 4, the projected total at 83. They're going to want to make some bigger inroads in these last 4 now.
Yeah, well, it's just the 4 wickets in hand, so. But they showed some intent in that last over, because the overs are starting to run out. They need to get as many runs as possible. It may prove to be a challenge in total. I'm not certain how strong the Rio Claro West batting lineup is, but one thing for sure, they're bowling led by Arabella Phillip and Muller. They have been bowling pretty well today.
Yeah, definitely. Rupchan on strike now. Feet a little bit planted, pushing away at that one. Maybe it looks a little bit tentative, but who wouldn't be against the wrist spin of Phillip here?
This one shot down is in the air. Well, it will land just in front of the mid-on fielder.
Yeah, so definitely dropping short there. Phillip continues. She's pushing at it, just holding a position and pushing the bat at it. We'd like to see a little bit more footwork there, but Phillip has kept her stranded on her crease. Let's look at that previous delivery again. Outside off stump and gone into the mid-on position.
This one here, well, runs here for Rio Claro East. Work here to do for the fielders. They get one. Well, not the best running there.
And look at the throw. They should have been looking for 2 there. Get the first one fast. You hear that all the time, especially in the position they're in. Phillip has been so good, and she's into her final over now. They just need to get the runs flowing now. Rio Claro East.
Duki was looking for a second run there, but Rupchan wasn't interested.
Well, that would have been Duki's call to the danger end.
Rupchan, another play and a miss.
Swing and a miss. That back foot is planted. Doesn't get a lot of movement, so she's very front-footed. As you can see, after she played this shot, that she lost her balance a little bit. So the back foot doesn't move. There's one more in the spell there for Phillip.
I must say, I have to agree to Dinesh. Arabella Phillip certainly looks like one for the future. Really good run-up and action. She really has a lot of potential, it seems.
Yeah, great spell from the captain. 2 for 14 from that 4 overs. And anyone looking on here, we saw some talent in Trinidad being picked up for West Indies very recently. So there's definitely one on the radars there, Arabella Phillip. She's done a great job of captaining the team so far, setting the field, being very aggressive, very good with the bowling changes as well. It'll be interesting to see what number she bats at, but we'll see another bowling change here with 3 overs left. I believe that Ramnarayan may have completed her 4 as well. I'm not sure. We'll have to check that. But the projected score of 80, there's something on the board, but will it be enough? That's a question. So these 3 overs are going to be really important, Jelani, for the Rio Claro East secondary girls team.
Yeah, it's that last over when Phillip only conceding 2 runs in that over, so they'll need some more runs off this 18th over. You don't want to be getting you need more than 2 runs and over at this point of the innings. So Duki will take strike. Rupchan has been at the crease for a while now. Duki plays at this one just off the pad.
Yeah, left arm medium from the northern end with the new bowler. I wonder if this is their specialist death bowler here, because she's got a very low trajectory because she's a very short person, and I think this could play into her favor, Blasdale, the bowler. There you see it's very difficult to get under those deliveries because of where she's releasing from and the trajectory. She's pretty much spot on the stumps on that one. The batter did very well to get a single still, but I like the look of this bowler, Laureli Basdale. I can see why. It's very smart cricket from the captain as well, using her for the death overs, because it looks like she will be very difficult to put away. Basdeo in again. That one was fuller. And Rupchan just checked the shot. Looked like she could have driven it, but held back. So a key dot ball to Basdeo. Again, Fuller pushed into the cover region. A misfield gets them get a comfortable single. 69 for 6. Just a couple more now in this over.
Yeah, here in the Rio Claro West contingent, they're traveling fans in full voice now, cheering on their team. But Dookie will try to, can she get some runs here? Well, this one is wide, but it's pulled away. It should, and it goes for 4. So 4 welcome runs for Rio Claro East here. They needed that. They were kind of really struggling to keep the scoreboard ticking over. So 4 runs.
Basdeo left hand around the wicket. Got the trajectory wrong. It was short and down the leg side. Dookie did very well to capitalize on it. Went aerial and in the end 4 runs. That looked like 4 even on the full field. So really good from Dookie to put away the bad ones. It's been the only bad one we've seen for the over from Basdeo, and it got punished. She's got 1 more left.
Yeah, can she? Basdeo will be hoping to end strong here. Dookie on the other hand. Can she add to the total here? Basdeo. Oh, and good over to end. Dookie was thinking it was she left it alone and probably was thinking it would have been called a wide, but it was a good delivery, so that brings the end to the over, and the end of 18 with 2 overs left, 74 for 6.
I really enjoyed that over from Basdeo. Tempting bowler there, giving it some air outside off stump, left arm trajectory. I think the batters in this position would be very tempted to go after those deliveries. They didn't, however, but I think that one bad ball just gave it away. So in this position now, 2 overs left, and as we saw the scorecard there from the bowlers, they do have some options here of who they go to, and it looks like they've made the decision. It's going to be a new bowler as well from the southern end.
Yeah,
Smith.
not the easiest time to be introduced into the bowling attack, but to bowl the 19th over is a big ask.
Kristen Smith is going to be the new bowler on that southern end. So I'm going to give them the benefit, Jelani, and think that this is their death bowling plans, that they had already planned to bowl these 2 bowlers in this situation. I could understand Laurelie Basdeo completely. So I'm expecting a lot here from Kristen Smith.
Yeah, Rio Claro East 2 overs left. They'll be hoping to get, if they could get at least maybe 16 runs in these last 2 overs, they will get to 90.
So it looks like it will be pace. Right arm over the wicket with Angelina Rupchan on strike. And there's the umpire signaling that. Umpire Ramtahal, tall man.
So Rupchan will face first ball of this penultimate over. Rupchan pulls this one straight to the fielder, so dot delivery to start for Smith.
Interesting action here from Smith. Looks like she's bowling a little bit of medium with the action of a spinner. You're always going to find some unique actions when it comes to girls cricket. So maybe it is because of her unique talent that she's been chosen to bowl in this situation. So I'm a bit perplexed, Jelani, of whether it's spin or pace being bowled here based on her grip of the ball and release and her action. But I tell you what, it's effective so far.
Yeah, but maybe it's a bit of both, I guess. Medium spin, will for one. Rio Claro East.
Yeah, we saw in that previous over, just the cameraman caught her grip. She's holding it like a pacer, has an action like a spinner. So it's somewhere in between, and it's doing the job. That one lofted just over the inner circle, and the fielder at mid-on just got across. So it was just in between those 2 fielders for a single. It brings Dookie on strike. 9 fours in this inning. We haven't seen any sixes. They're going to want a few more of those in this over Rio Claro East, at least to end this inning. 9 deliveries left in this inning.
Tukey just plays defensively at that one, so another dot delivery.
Yeah, you would think that Tukey would be trying to hit everything at this point. I think the bowling changes have mixed it up and made it a little bit unpredictable, just as Smith is. So it's forced the batter to be more watchful here. I have to give credit again to the skipper and to the Rio Claro West team. All of their bowlers have looked pretty capable. They've been doing the job, as we see Smith just remarking her run up there.
Tukey's not timing it as she would have liked, so not the over they would have liked at this stage within 19th over. Just a couple runs in this over so far, just the one delivery to go.
Well, the tasser's rolling and it'll be celebrating these dot balls from Smith here. She's done a great job so far. Just one to finish her spell for the game here.
And yet another dot delivery, so what an over from Smith. Just 2 runs off the over. Rio Claro East batting first, 76 for 6.
Brilliant stuff from Smith, has to be said. A bit of an unorthodox action, but in the end the job got done, and that's what I like to see in cricket. Rio Claro West have been consistently on the money with their areas, with their plans. The captain has led from the front with her bowling, with her field placing. We've got 1 over left here, and Rio Claro East with 76 for 6. That projected score of 80 says that we're going to get 4 runs in this over. They would want some more than that.
Certainly so. We're going to get at least 8 or 10 runs in this last over. If they could get up to 85 at least, they'll have something to bowl at.
Yeah, Basdale was going to come in with the left arm around the wicket with her low trajectory. It's not going to be easy for the batters here. Low trajectory, but full and lofted. So something's going to have to give in this over with Angelina Rupchan on strike. She's going to have a go here.
Yeah, certainly. 5 deliveries left. But Basdeo. Well, a full toss not dealt with by Rupchan.
Interesting bowling from Basdeo there. It's really full, but it's dipping and dying as well. So it's going to take some good footwork to get these.
Speaking of footwork, she chipped down the wicket and it's crushed through the extra cover region for 4. So, right on cue there, Dinesh. She chipped down the wicket there, Rupchan, and 4 runs.
Yeah, she decided that something's going to have to give. And in the end, a good cover drive. I think that fielder there was very close to the fielder in the circle. Maybe she could have got at it. But in the end, the batter got the result she wanted there, Rupchan. And that's always going to be on the cards with Basdeo's trajectory. She's tending to be a bit fuller and a little bit giving the ball some air. I think if she uses the pitch, it's going to be more difficult. Let's see.
Well, another full toss. So this is turning into a very productive over. 4 more to the total. They have raced along to it now, 84 for 6. Couple deliveries to go.
Yeah, it looks like that one just slipped out. Not what she would have wanted. Possibility of it being a no ball, but we'll see. It was not signaled. And in the end, 4 runs. So back-to-back boundaries now in this final over. We've got 2 deliveries left. Basdeo is going to want to hit the pitch here, but she's tended to be a bit fuller. And Rupchan now would feel like she's got the better of her.
Yeah, so can Basdeo respond? Basdeo to Rupchan. Another great shot on wall. 3 fours in a row, Dinesh. Really a great over finish here to the innings by Rupchan and the Rio Claro East batting unit.
Look at this, it's too full. And Angelina Rupchan comes down the wicket. She doesn't even have to come down very far. She plants that front foot as she's done most innings and crashes it through the covers for 4. Great shot for her. 3 boundaries in a row. 1 left now. Bazia is going to have to watch her length here.
This one is struck. They wouldn't get a boundary on this occasion. They'll get one. And that will bring the innings to a close. So at the end of 20 overs, Dinesh, Rio Claro East 89 for 6 after 20 overs.
Yeah, that final over really got them back into the game to help them to finish on 89. Excellent stuff from Rio Claro West in the field. Captain led from the front, Philip, and that brings the end of the inning for the first inning. Angelina Rupchan is on the end, top score with 23 from 30 after getting 13 in the final over. And that is maybe a little bit of impetus and positive intent that they needed to help them feel confident about this total. So join us after the break as we return to see Rio Claro East versus Rio Claro West in the second inning of this game.
Welcome back to the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. In this match between Rio Claro West Secondary and Rio Claro East Secondary in this girls T20 contest. Rio Claro East Secondary batted first, made 89 for 6. So Rio Claro West in pursuit of 90 for victory. We'll see how they start their innings. Again, this is a Rio Claro battle for the entire day, because following this match, the boys T20 contest between these same two schools, they will battle from around 2 p.m. or so. Right now we focus on the girls match. Sharice Perez and Ciara Mohammed will be the opening batters for Rio Claro West. And opening the bowling for Rio Claro East will be Maya Hari.
Yeah, good day, Jelani. Pleasure to be back here again. It's Jelani Beckles, and I am Dinesh Mahabir. We'll be taking you through the second half of this game. 90 runs needed in 120 balls by Rio Claro East Secondary Girls.
Hari bang on target first up. It is just a half-hearted appeal for an LBW decision.
Maya Hari opened the batting and opened the bowling as well. She was up there. And so, good start from her. I know Jelani mentioned around 100 runs would be par. You know, I thought 120 would be the target. They got to 90. That's runs on the board in this form of cricket. So 90 runs. It's not going to be an easy task here. It may be just a little below par, but it's definitely a fighting total in this form of cricket.
So 3 dot deliveries to start the innings by Hari.
Yeah, that third one was nice. She tried to bang it in there. It just held up and looped to the keeper and threw off the batter a little bit. Yeah, she's just leaning on the bat there in her stance. Perez seems set up to go through the leg side. She's a high back lift. Harry's in now.
It's a very slow start. No runs off, not off the mark yet. Rio Claro West.
Well, we saw Rio Claro East girls team in the power play while batting were equally as slow. They were very watchful, and as you can see from the field, there's no one out on the boundary. In fact, there's just one person on the leg side. 3/4 way there. Short delivery, punch through the offside. They're gonna get one. Thoughts of a second, but the throw comes in.
Yeah, so Rio Claro West off the mark. One without loss. They just need about 4.5 runs and over, so picking up 1s and 2s will be crucial in this innings. They don't necessarily need to get boundaries regularly.
You're right, less than a run a ball required, you know. So just a little bit above 4 and over. Good line, good length. Well watched by Mohammed there, facing her first delivery. So that brings the end of the first over. Just one from it. Really watchful here. And we've got a game on our hands here. The Rio Claro Derby of the girls hardball cricket here in the Secondary Schools Cricket League. This is the T20 Intercol. And we're here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Cricket 360, Power Gen Secondary Schools League. Beautiful conditions for cricket today. It was a little bit overcast. We saw some rain yesterday. The vibes are pumping throughout the ground. The music is loud. The sun is hot. And it's a really lovely conditions to have some cricket here. So we're glad that you can join us on Cricket 360. We've got Rio Claro cricket here throughout the day because the girls teams are clashing right now. But immediately following this game, the boys team will clash in the Intercol knockout game as well.
Alicia Ali will open the bowling also from the southern end. She'll be bowling to Perez. Ali starts a spell. This is in the air. It will land safely in between three fielders. They'll try to get one. It was a close call there. It could have been a run out, but they get home just in time. So move to score just a 2 without loss now, but bit of a mix up there between the batters.
Yeah, beautiful bowling here from Ali. Really liked her pace, approach to the wicket. She's over the wicket, and the batter was not onto it. In fact, it was lofted into the air. Really good prospect here, Ali.
Ali now into Mohammed.
Well, that being said, this one is full toss wide outside the awesome. No control there from the bowler. It's going to be 4 wides actually. So after a beautiful start here, she kind of let this go. You can see the interesting her wrist position that rolls around like a spinner just before she releases, and I think that is what really threw her off there. I think she needs to get that wrist position in a stable position while releasing. So everything else is in alignment except that, and that one threw her off, and it's gone all the way for 4.
Again, as we mentioned earlier, Dinesh, the captains in this match are very reactive. You're seeing immediately a short third man. Well, a little wayward here now by Ali. Another wide. This one down the leg side.
Yeah, I just want to give out a shout out to Imran Jan, who is following along on the live stream. Of course, he'll be well interested in teams from Rio and Mayaro. Really good prospects here. See, Ali has been a little bit wayward to start here. Now she's come around the wicket. But when she gets it right, it does come out really well. As we saw in the first delivery, and we see in this one here. Spot on the money there with the ball angling into the right-hander.
So RIO CLARO West, 8 without loss, in pursuit of 90 for victory. Ali into Mohammed. Well, this one was another wide, so struggling here, Ali, to be consistent with her lines and lengths.
So it's proving to be a little bit expensive now. Already 9 runs on the board, 8 from this over, with just the 2 legal deliveries. So she's gonna have to get it right here, Ali.
This one is pulled in the air, lands safely.
Yeah, it's lofted backward of square, just within the circle. There's no fielder over there, so they get an easy single. In the end, not the most comfortable shot. Ali, when she hits those good areas, can really be a handful. But so far, it's been all in the favor of RIO CLARO West.
Yeah, 10 without loss. So solid start here by RIO CLARO West. Perez attempts to pull out that one. In my opinion, a little unlucky for that one to be called a wide. It seemed very close to the leg stump.
Yeah, no contact made, so the margins are fine. And Ali's been testing those margins so far in this over. But already 11 from this one. Not the start they would have wanted. She's going to have to try to pull it back with these deliveries that are left. While Mohammed there looks well set with a nice high backlift. Chasing now on another wide signal. Well, that's going to be a spot of concern now for RIO CLARO East. And there we see Harry having a chat with her.
Yeah, already 5 wides in this over.
So I think it was on the second or third delivery we saw a close-up of her wrist action, and her wrist is not really cocked and stays stable, and that's why she isn't getting the control that she wants. Oh, this one is misfielded in the inner circle. They get one, but it's picked up by the backup fielder, and they'll just stay to one. So the runs keep coming in this over, and I think just putting on my coach's hat, Jelani, I would look at her wrist position and try to keep it as stable as possible, where she's rolling her wrist almost like as a wrist spinner turns a leg spin delivery. But bowling pace, you would want that seam position to be held in a really steady and constant position, and that's was not what is happening here with Ali. I think she has all of the talent and attributes to be a good fast bowler, and she just needs to tighten up that wrist position. This one is short, it's banged in, it's gone aerial, but it will not reach to that fielder in the circle on the leg side, and they get a single to end the over. So there's 15 runs, some 14 came so far. In fact, there's another delivery left.
Yeah, very expensive over here by Alicia Ali. She'll hope to bounce back in a second over, because this has not been a bit wayward start for Ali. 15 without loss. Rio Claro West batting second, sorry, in pursuit of 90 for victory. Ali, can she end strong here? Pulls to Mohammed. Scan down the legs, down the offside, way down the off stump. So with another wide. Yeah, this is a tough over here by Ali. She'll really have to bounce back after this over.
Yeah, she would want to finish strong now with the little bit of waywardness that she's experienced here. There has been opportunities here. They have been catching opportunities. Now, if she can get it right, she can end on a high here, which she would want. And this one is on the money, just like the first one. As straight as you like, played down by the batsman to end the over. So the batter plays that one down for a dot ball, and that's 17 after 2 overs.
Yeah, expensive there by Ali. Again, we thank you for joining 360 TV for this coverage of the girls cricket T20 action. We're live at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Taruba. Maya Hari will bowl a second over. She had an excellent first over, just conceding the 1 run in her first over, so she's hoping to continue in that trend. She'll be bowling to Ciara Mohammed. This one is play just it's the thought of a singles for a send back Mohammed.
So there's a lot of support here. We got the TASA, we got the schools bringing their contingents to shout the support of both of their teams. In fact, the boys will be here later today.
Hari. This one is cut down to backward point. It a single.
Been played in Rio Claro, there would have been a full stadium for this game. But it's here at Brian Lara Stadium, and it's good that they are able to experience this setup.
Dot delivery, so another decent over here by Hari.
Good areas from Hari. We saw in the previous inning that balls outside off stump were a little bit difficult to negotiate from the batting side. And in this case, it's a little bit different, although we do see Perez a little bit planted. It looks like she's just waiting for it in her zone. Outside off stump and watched again. So as I was saying, had this game been played in Rio, I could expect the entire community to flood these matches with support. And, being a bit of a distance away from Rio, to have the Rio teams playing here in Brian Lara is not the best for the community support, but it's great for them to get exposure in this facility to play in these conditions. I mean, every cricketer in the country would love to play here.
Yeah, certainly. Of course, some of these players would have looked at a lot of CPL matches being played here over the years, so some of them would have never thought they would have gotten the opportunity to play at this incredible facility, Brian Lara Cricket Academy, of course, named after the West Indies batting legend.
And kudos to everyone in Rio Claro, the parents, the players, the teachers, the staff that make it happen, that have these 4 teams on display here today. We look forward to a great day of cricket and seeing the talent on display.
Perez hits this one onto the leg side. No runs. So that's the end of another over by Harry. After 3 overs, Rio Claro West in pursuit of 90 for victory, or 18 without loss.
Yeah, good over from Harry. She's pulled it back here, and that's what's going to be needed. I think there's definitely going to be a bowling change on the southern end now, as the Rio Claro West secondary girls team look to pull back things in their favor, because it did run away a bit. We are in the power play still. Just see if this bowler being introduced, that there's just going to be the one fielder outside the circle on the leg side for Perez. That's deep mid-wicket. And there's one just outside the circle, the offside on the cover point. So looks like spin is going to be introduced from the southern end.
Perez hits this one down the ground. Yeah, so Rio Claro East will certainly be thinking of wickets here.
So just confirmation that it is Rebecca Samlal on the southern end bowling off spin.
This one wide signal. It seemed a bit unlucky there. Probably just outside those markers.
Well, not a bad tactic. She's got 5 fielders on the offside. So a third man point cover, short cover, and mid off. So keeper gets that one. So she's going to try to maintain that offside line with off spin. And so far so good.
Yeah, so Perez with a very watchful start here.
Yeah, this one's closer. Perez just plays it down. Perez looks a really watchful batter here. She just leans on her bat a little bit. Not a lot of footwork. I suspect that she's just having a look before she wants to accelerate. Yeah, that one. Fine margins there.
Yeah, leaving that one alone. You don't see much leave alones in this format of the game, but
especially in a power play.
Samlal to Perez. Another play and a miss, so this turned out to be a solid start by Samlal.
Yeah, not a lot of footwork from Perez. She's just holding her ground. Looks like the type of player that if it comes closer, she's going to have a go. But as you see that she leans on that bat a little bit. So accessing those wider balls, a little bit difficult for us. Just swing and a miss again. So that brings the end of the 4th over. 20 without loss now, Rio Claro West in pursuit of 90 to win.
Yeah, some solid overs here. They had that one expensive over Rio Claro East, but other than that, they've been a pretty tight start by their bowling unit. But they'll need wickets to ensure that they get this win today against their neighbors, Rio Claro West. Seems that Harry will bowl her second over. from the northern end. Harry starts a third over. Well, a no ball signaled. She'll have to bowl that one again.
So just confirmation of that no ball and the free hit now. So Mohammed's going to have a big swing here. Let's see what Harry's going to come up with. If it was me, Jelani, I'm telling you, it would be outside off stump. It would be trying to hug that wide line, which has been so effective so far today. But we see just Harry just pushing the offside cover fielder back onto the boundary. So I suspect that she is going to go wide outside off stump. So a big swing full on off stump, outside off stump, and it is hit straight back to the bowler. So a dot ball to recover that no ball off the first delivery.
Yeah, good result for Harry and Rio Claro East. You always want dot ball is almost of a perfect outcome of a free hit. This one is driven, finds a short cover fielder, well fielded.
Really skillful bowler here, Harry. You could see that she's coming over the wicket and angling it away from the right hand, and the ball just comes back in to the right hander. I think with a skill like that, I think she would give a lot of left-handers trouble as well. But definitely been on the money. Just a 3 runs only, and she's into her third over here.
It's an appeal for caught behind, and she's given. So Mohammed has to go. Harry gets the breakthrough. Rio Claro West secondary, 21 for 1.
Cue the celebrations. Let's look at this again. Harry, outside off stump, in slow motion. Look where it pitches. Just inside the wide line, chasing after it. Full swing into the keeper's arms. Good bowling, good catch. And that's been the order of the day. Outside off stump has brought rewards again.
Yeah, that was wicketkeeper Kiwal Singh holding on to that catch behind the stump. She saw her early in the match making a decent contribution with the bat, so she gets a job done behind the stumps as well.
Really professional work behind the stumps there. Good stuff from Harry, and I have to say kudos to our producer Jason Passad, who broke down that slow motion replay in a perfect way to have you see exactly what happened there. With the zoom in angle as well, you can see that Harry just got a little bit of movement away this time. A hard flash outside off stump, got the top edge of the bat, but just enough to go into the gloves of the keeper. Beautiful cricket on display. It means the new batter is the captain, Arabella Phillip, coming to the crease here.
Yeah, you saw Phillip earlier doing the business with the ball, but they need her to deliver with the bat now. This one is pushed onto the offside.
We're seeing some great cricket here now, Jelani. Good areas from Harry. Well played down by Phillip. Here we see it again. It's so nice. We got to do it twice. Good length outside off stump. Big flash at it. Cutting at it. Into the hands of the keeper. Big blow there from Rio Claro East.
This one is driven and
wow,
doesn't make contact. So this is turning out to be a tight battle here. Could go either way.
Enticing delivery from Harry. It brought Phillip forward, looking to drive it. That one could have easily got an edge as well. Good cricketer this Phillip, and Harry as well.
Phillip will get off the mark here. Runs here.
Nice shot through the
He'll
offside.
get one. Should get two. Well, not the best running there from the pair. was a good shot. He deserved more than a single, but he'll have to settle for one.
Tell you what, that was a great delivery there. That wasn't bad at all. That was a good length coming back into the batter. But Philip caressed it through the offside, backward a point there. Could have gone for 4, just 2 in the end. And the contest is really heating up here. 5 overs now, 1 left in the power play, 22 for 1. There we see the equation, 68 runs in 90 balls. It's not really as easy as it seems. You just think that it's in the batting team's favor, but we'll see how it goes. Rebecca Samlal was really good in her first over, bowling the off spin on the southern end, just the 2 runs from it. And we'll see how she faces up now with the captain Philip on strike.
Yeah, I agree to Dinesh. All to play for here. I think this game could swing either way. Samlal, an attempted sweep, but call her wide.
Coming to an end with this final over in the power play. So Samlal is going to be key.
Philip looks for a single, but no run there, so.
Nice controlled contact from Philip. A really good prospect, this young cricketer. To be the captain, to be batting at 3. Good talent with the ball, the wrist spin and the off spin. Leading from the front here. A lot is going to be on her shoulders, but Samlal will have other ideas.
So on a play and a miss.
So the tensions rising here now, because it's just the game is really swinging like a pendulum here, back and forth with each delivery.
Yeah, you'll want to stay tuned to this one. This one is, have a feeling, could come down to the wire.
Good shape there, well played from Philip, but it's another dot ball. And that's what Rio Claro East would want.
Another play and a miss. So turn out to be a solid over by Samlal rather.
Yeah, great areas there. Just enticing the batter into a shot that she missed. 2 more left in this one.
She sweeps at that one. Is appealed. Well, both batters end up on the same end. Philip was a little slow to react to her partner Perez.
Well, I'd like to see that one. Leg by signal. I imagine that would have been really close. I'm surprised that the appeal wasn't as more enthusiastic that we had seen, because with the leg by signal, it seems that she just missed it completely.
Yeah, seemed to be a close shot there, but as you said, the fielding team didn't seem that enthused by it. So one pushed on the offside, no run.
That's the end of the over, but we'll have a look at this shout for LBW here. I mean, the trajectory looked really good. I mean, that looked like a hidden line. Difficult to tell from that angle. But at the end of the power play, 24 for 1, Rio Claro East. Decent start from them in a pursuit of 90. I think they would be really happy with that. 66 runs in 84 balls. And we're going to see a change in bowling here now from the northern end to start the second phase of play.
Yeah, well, 24 for 1, it's still a very manageable required run rate, but if the required run rate reaches around 6 and over, then the pressure will be on the batting group. So if Rio Claro East could take a couple more wickets soon, it will, as I said, might swing in their favor. But so still, nobody really taking full control of the contest just yet. So we'll see how things pan out in these next few overs.
Well, it looks like Alicia Ali will return this time from the northern end.
Yeah, Ali really struggled in her first over to be consistent, but good start, solid start.
Yeah, just having a look at the action. There you see the wrist I was talking about that just rolls over. And this one, This one pitch on leg stump just going down. So you see the left armor around the wicket of what she gets the ball to do, which is come into the right hander. So if she can start a little bit wide, I think she can get the results she's looking for here, Ali. But this one is short, very short, down the leg side. It's going to run away for 4. So that's going to be 4 wides as the umpire signals no. And again, Ali proving to be the inconsistency could be detrimental here.
Yeah, a lot of extras being given away here. A lot of buys, a lot of wides. This pushes the score to RIO CLARO pushes their score to 29 for 1. Probably almost half of those runs in extras.
Yeah, I think Ali needs to just keep it simple here and try to hit the areas that she's aiming at. Preferably a little bit wider outside off stump. Now that's pretty good. That is a good length and that is a good trajectory that she's coming with there. So she's managed to keep Philip quiet now. Like I mentioned previously, sometimes when you're inconsistent as a bowler, when you do get it right, it's really surprising for the batter. So it could work in her favor here. You know, if she gets a wicket, especially that of Philip, they would be very happy with that. However, for RIO CLARO West, there's no need to panic for them. They've been just very solid. 2 from 10, 3 from 18, these batters.
So much better from Ali. Those last 2 deliveries, she'll want to try to keep that sort of line and length.
Definitely something to work with from there. I think other than that wrist position, I think she's got a great talent and a great technique. And she can definitely something to work with. But RIO CLARO West now are being very watchful. Because Ali's on the money there. Good areas now. And that's why she's been chosen to bowl the
Well, after 3 really well bowled deliveries, this one another wayward one down the leg side by Ali.
Yeah, so just a game of patience now for the batting side, where there's no need to really push it on. But I would love to see them try to score off of those wayward deliveries as well, not just leave it. That way they can get themselves into a positive position. Here's Ali.
Again, down the leg side, so some stuff going here for Ali.
But the keeper's onto it in a flash now. She did really well to get there. She had to dive and roll to stop it. But I think by now she's anticipating that that is a possibility, so she's able to reach it. This can be frustrating. I know it's got to be tough for the RIO CLARO East team, but it's not easy as well for the RIO CLARO West team. Just having to watch it out. Oh, this one's really bad. It's gone really wide and off the pitch. And they get a single with the wide now. So she's got to string together 2 more good deliveries to bring this over to a close here, Ali.
Yeah, she's bowled probably around 10 wides by now, and this is just a second over. So it'll be interesting to see if she's brought back after these 2 overs.
I was a bit surprised that she was brought back. Captain placing the confidence in Ali. Yeah, so a wicket could pay dividends, though.
Yeah, but it will be a learning experience for Ali.
Yeah, definitely. But like I said, you know, all the tools are there, the talents are there. Just get that wrist position going. Do a little bit of spot bowling of aiming to which areas you want to hit to the left-hander and right-hander. And I think she's got all the tools in her kit to be a top bowler. That being said, in the context of this game, it's going to be a little bit tough now. She's struggling to get those final 2 deliveries in. It's been about 5 wides in a row now.
Yeah, they're having a bit of a discussion with Ali, including keeper Kiwal Singh, just probably trying to give her some encouragement to try to end this over on a positive note. It's been a struggle here for Ali. Get that consistency.
2 more legal deliveries left. She's already gone for 27, which in the context of this game is a lot. So it's really set them back a bit, but let's hope she can finish strong here. Decent area as well.
Yeah, much better for Ali there. She'll be pleased about that. So just one more delivery.
Yeah, important at this level of school cricket to have that encouragement. You know, things aren't going to be perfect. A lot of these players are, in fact, all of these players are in a developmental stage of their cricket career. So it's important about them getting these opportunities and learning from them, as you mentioned, Jelani.
And there's appeal for LBW. Well, and it's given. So the umpire took his time, but has eventually raised the hand, and another wicket goes. So after a rough first, or after a very rough over, Ali gets the reward. You see a look at the replay here, Dinesh.
Look at it. It's lofted. It's high in the air. The batter has to raise her eye line, and it's struck plumb as you like and then lodged into the inner pad of the batter. The umpire took a second, but that is plumb as you like. And after all that has happened in Ali's spell, she ends her second over with a wicket, and in the end she gets a reward. So she's ended the second over with 27 for 1.
Yeah, a very eventful over there, Dinesh. A lot of wides, about 5 or 6 wides counted there, and also, but she gets the breakthrough in the end. So that will be pleasing for Ali that she was still able to get a wicket.
Well, we'll see what happens. Does that mean she's going to bowl another over? Well, we'll see what the captain has in mind.
Yeah, she will have something to think about now. The RIO CLARO East captain.
But it brings Muller to the wicket as a new batter. Azaria Muller, who did so well with the ball with her opening spell. Really stood out as one of the top bowlers in this game. Set things up nicely for RIO CLARO West, and she's coming out now to join the captain out there to steady the ship and continue the good work that they've started.
Yeah, they'll need a partnership here. RIO CLARO West, nothing to panic about yet, because they need 55 off 78 deliveries, so very manageable. Phillip has been very watchful, very cautious in her. She's faced 12 balls already, just the 2 runs to her name, but she's looked very solid. But she wanna at least get the 1s and 2s that keep the scoreboard ticking over.
So looks like there's going to be a change of bowling there on the southern end. Could be Rupchan. I'll just confirm that in a second.
Phillip watches that one way down the offside.
In fact, it's Duki, Daniela Duki. There we see with the Ella, number 13 on her back. And that's all that has been needed from Phillip so far. That's why she's 2 from 12, because she's just been bystander to proceedings, just making sure that she doesn't do anything untoward and being as steady as you like, playing that captain's knock. Another wide signal here from Duki, so hasn't felt a lot of ball on the bat, Phillip. And that's why I said sometimes you got to be really watchful, because when it does come, you can be unprepared. So the runs have been coming, it's just not off the bat.
Yeah, a lot of extras in this innings. Need to be a little more tidy here. RIO CLARO East, and another wide. So that's 3 wides in the over.
Yeah, a little bit disappointed with that, Duki. And there we see, oh, it's a no ball signal actually. So that's going to be a free hit for Philip. That's why she was a little bit more disappointed here. And I think she just needs to focus on those areas that she's looking to hit. The frustration, it can be a little bit frustrating that she changes her run up a bit now, shortens it to try to get a bit more control.
Can Philip capitalize here on this free hit? Well, a dot delivery. It's a good outcome for Dookie.
Yeah, and that's been the order of the day. Being able to work that fine margin of that wide line outside off stump. If you can, you're going to get some dot deliveries. I'm just looking at her grip now with her fingers spread across the seam of the ball, Dookie. Oh, and that one is as straight as you like. Decent. Got the keeper excited with that one, and that one actually beat Philip.
Yeah, if she could get some more deliveries in that area, it could prove challenging for Philip and Muller.
Yeah, looking at that grip of Dookie as she comes in again. Ball is just wobbling a bit in the air, almost like a spinner. If she's going to bowl that medium pace, we'd love to see a little bit more seam action there with the fingers on the seam, but these last two deliveries have been pretty on the money. It's been spot on and a little bit of a challenge here now. Got those jitters out of the way now. Seem to have settled down into her momentum, Dookie. And it's looking pretty good. Meanwhile, Philip just being watchful.
Another play and a miss by Philip. So Philip really struggling here to make contact with the bat, make contact, putting Willow on leather.
Excellent work there behind the stumps from the wicketkeeper. She was onto it in a flash there. The Soraya Kewal Singh, it is, yeah. So she was pretty adept with the bat and really looks sharp there as a wicketkeeper. Nice prospect here. There she's again picking that one wide outside off stump. And I think she has all the makings of a good technique, this wicketkeeper. And, you know, we're going to see some wides. We're going to see some cricket that is from players that are learning the trade. But we also have to keep a good eye out for the talent that is developing. Because throughout the country, you know, there are club teams, so many women club teams, cricket, and the West Indies women are in action. So even though we see that these young girls are, you know, sometimes struggling, it's important to make sure that they have the right environment and encouragement to continue to learn and grow.
Yeah, certainly, you know, whenever you're in this stage, you'll make a lot of mistakes. It's not going to be perfect all the time, and you're seeing that in these first 8 overs of the Rio Claro West innings, because Rio Claro East conceding a lot of extras, but they're seeing the potential. Just have to find some more consistency, but they will continue to develop and learn from these sort of matches.
Yeah, and that's why it's important that, you know, they're able to come here to the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, experience the top conditions in international cricket, to be said, because there's really top conditions here.
Better delivery from Dookie, but Philip sweeps the ball, so they will get one more to the total.
Yeah, so takes it on to 42 now. 1 left in this over. In fact, it seems like the over has been signaled there. So that's the end of the over. 8 overs gone now. 42 for 2 in pursuit of 90. So they're getting close to the halfway mark there, Rio Claro West, of getting this total over. I mean, it's really difficult for the Rio Claro East bowling unit right now, and what it means is that just being watchful from Rio Claro West is getting the job done for them.
Yeah, Rio Claro West certainly in front at this stage, still 8 wickets in hand, 42 on the board. The required run rate just a little over 4 runs and over, so Rio Claro East rather, will be hoping to get some wickets here. So a new bowler coming from the northern end. We'll try to confirm her name very shortly.
It looks like Alicia Rupchan is going to take it up from the northern end. Oh, that's on the money.
Seemed to be going over the stumps. It looked height might have been an issue.
Good area there for her. So a little bit of bounce, a little bit of movement from the off spin of Rupchan here. Exactly what they needed at this point. She started with a leg stump line, and Philip's playing like a test match inning out there, just watching and being very patient and waiting on it.
Yeah, soaking up a lot of deliveries here, Philip.
Well, a loud appeal there from the wicketkeeper. She's very enthusiastic about it, asking the square leg about it. It will be interesting to see how that looked, because she's convinced that Philip straight out of her crease there. She's pretty sharp behind the wicket there, I have to say.
Yeah, very animated there, wicketkeeper Kiwal Singh.
Now that's what you like to see. Even though sometimes some wicketkeepers really go overboard, I have to give them the benefit of the doubt at first.
Yeah, she's still showing a bit of emotion there, Kiwal Singh, but she'll have to forget about that one for now. Good over, solid over here for Rupchan.
Oh, no ball signal here. Well, that's going to be a free hit. So I think just her action just straight a little bit there, pulling it down, and there she's a bit more controlled. This one is struck. It's going to be 4 runs through cover. Wide outside off stump, and Philip was onto it with a beautiful shot for 4. Let's have a look at that again. There we see the adjustment made, almost like a cut shot through the covers. Of course, that was a free hit and a beautiful 4 there for the captain, Philip.
Yeah, that'll certainly break the shackles here. Philip has been very quiet in her innings thus far, but hopefully she can get a few more of those, Philip.
Swing and a miss and stumped. Quick work there from the keeper. And in the end, she gets the captain straying outside of her crease and picked it up in a flash. She's been sharp all game, and the wicketkeeper really has made a big difference here, Kival Singh.
Yeah, she attempted to get a stumping early in the over. She was a little disappointed that it wasn't given out, but she gets Philip on this occasion, and Rio Claro East just fighting back again in this contest. Rio Claro West now 48 for 3.
That's a big blow in the context of this game, because just as the captain Philip struck a 4 off a free hit, you just had the inclination that this one was going to get away from Rio Claro East, and from a full delivery outside of off stump, the keeper Kewal Singh made a really good work of it as it drew Philip outside of her crease, and she walked across and stump and got the stumping in. Beautiful work.
Yeah, Kewal Singh definitely having a strong performance in this game. You see, look at the replay. Yeah, well, she was way outside of her crease, and Kewal Singh had some work to do. It was low on the offside.
So just hugging the white line there, Rupchan, with that ball, and it drew Philip out onto the off stump, got that back foot in the air, and in a flash the wicket keeper was onto it. Excellent work there. And so instructions being shouted out there. The intensity of the game from the stands is raising. You can hear the coaches' voices. trying to urge his players on here. Let's see how Rupchan continues.
Yeah, this is the battle of Rio Claro here. Rio Claro East versus Rio Claro West. Nobody want both teams hoping to return to Rio Claro with bragging rights.
Well, the new batter, Melody McPherson, they're hoping that she can be in tune here to the batting because a big inning is needed from her to stabilize here. So we've got two new batters now with McPherson and Muller, both having just faced one delivery. So this is a huge opportunity for Rio Claro East now to pull things back.
Certainly. Rupchan.
I have to say Kewalsing has been sharp all day long. She's done a good job in the batting, and now she's behind the stumps here leading her team and creating some pressure here now as Rupchan completes that over. 1 for 6 in it in the context of what happened. That's really important in this game. They're going to have to push on from here now, Rio Claro East. They're back in it as Rio Claro West now have to rebuild a bit.
Yeah, 48 for 3, Rio Claro West. So Rio Claro West, before that third wicket, were really starting to push their noses in front, but still a very even battle here between these two teams. If you're tuned in, we'll ask you to stay tuned in because this is turning out to be a very intriguing contest.
Yeah, Samlal is back. She had a great couple of overs, just 4 runs from those two, bowling her off spin. And she starts again with a really good one, and my goodness, Kewalsing behind the stumps is really making it look even better as well. So you can't stray here. Having a good wicket keeper at this level of cricket where there are so many enticing shots on display, it's going to be really key for a fielding team, and she's making the best of it now.
So two dot deliveries to start for Samlal. Building a little bit of pressure here. It's a little quiet run rate. It's very nothing to be concerned about yet. It's 42 needed off 64 deliveries. This one is wide. Will be called a wide.
Well, after praising the bowler and the keeper, they both slip up a bit, but they wouldn't mind that because they're on top right now, and they're gonna have to maintain that now. They're gonna have to be consistent. She has a really simple action here, Samlan, and really effective. There you see how easy it is for her to maintain those lines and just entice those shots. Muller was really good with the ball. They're going to need her to be good with the bat as well, but can't make contact outside off stump so far.
Muller hits another miss there by Muller, so it's turning out to be a strong over by Samlal. Only the wide off it so far.
She's going to have to be careful here, Muller. The off spin is going to come back into her, and she's not been able to make contact. In fact, she's taking a new mark now. It looks like she's remarking that middle stump line. But Samlal's done the work here. Just 5 runs. 1 more left in the third over. That only run this over was a wide. On the money again and beaten Muller. Brilliant over there from Samla. That's to be said, and that's what's happening now. There you see it on the screen. Rio Claro East fighting their way back now with a target of 90 needed by Rio Claro West. They're 49 for 3. And we're going to take a drinks break because 10 overs have been gone, but this game is very much in the balance. So join us after this little break as we see the epic conclusion of this match.
Welcome back to the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in this live match here between Rio Claro West Secondary and Rio Claro East Secondary in this girls T20 match. Rio Claro coming out of the drinks break at 49 for 3 in chase of 90 for victory. Anybody's game here still. Alicia Rupchan will continue. Rupchan into a second over now. Pulls to McPherson, but wide delivery by Rupchan. That brings up the 50 for Rio Claro West. So now 50 for 3 in the 11th over. Rupchan. Well, this is one is way down the offside. It will be called a wide. Well, a big mix up here. They're both on the same end and she's gone. So a big mix up there between McPherson and Muller. Both batters ended up on the same end, and wicket has to go, and she's gone, and the wicket falls. Not sure if McPherson or Muller has to return to the pavilion. A bit of discussion is going on in the middle. They're just trying to confirm who's the batter who was out. Still having a discussion. It has been confirmed that McPherson will have to return to the pavilion. So another swing, this match just swinging back and forth here, Dinesh.
Well, it's all happened there, hasn't it? We've got a wide delivery going outside the off stump. The non-striker ran down the wicket toward the striker. The striker ran out of her crease as well to meet her. And the throw came in and it hit the stump while both of them were out of the crease, causing some confusion as to which one was out. At the end of the day, it's run out of a wide.
Yeah, this is Rio Claro is keeping themselves alive in this match, certainly. Definitely in front now, Rio Claro East, with those and fall of yet another wicket.
So Melody McPherson, the one adjudged to be run out in that situation, bringing the new batter to the crease.
Just to teach some of your words, Dinesh. McPherson not singing the same tune as Muller. They weren't on the same page, certainly.
Yeah, I think it was never a run when, and I think they panicked a bit. Having gotten the one off the wide already, it was really unnecessary risk.
Rupchan continues. This one on target.
A little bit full, as straight as you like there from Rupchan, and Kirsten Smith, the new batter, just plays it down the wicket. Oh, some really good bounce there that Rupchan gets from the wicket as she just lets the ball get some air, but when it does hit the wicket, it rises. As you can see, Smith played that one back, but in the air. Well, that is not easy to bat, because off a good length, the ball is kicking up here. Rupchan with an interesting skill here that is going to make it difficult to score. Now, if Smith is able to get under it, it could be easier, but it seems that she's not able to, but this one is going to be wide.
Yeah, just string down the leg side there, Rupchan. Three wides already in this over. There was a run out. This one driven down the ground. We'll get one. Good feeling there. Good feeling to prevent the boundary from being scored, but just a single.
This one was a little bit fuller from Rupchan, so they were able to, the batter was able to drive it down the ground, almost getting four. Good work from the fielder, as you mentioned. I think that with the bounce that Rupchan gets here, this keeping good links is going to be key for her.
Good finish to the over by Rupchan, and at the end of it, Rio Claro West 54 for 4.
Yeah, you would think that it's still in the favor of Rio Claro West, giving that batting how many balls are required per runs. But I just think that it can go either way. Had Rio Claro East been a little bit more disciplined with their bowling areas, they would have been tighter than that. But with 36 needed in 54, Jelani, I still think it's in the balance, man. It can go any way.
Yeah, certainly. I think a couple more quick wickets for Rio Claro East. They will certainly think they could pull off this win. But Rio Claro West will try to build a partnership here between Muller and Smith. Two fairly new batters. Muller has been there for some time, but not yet off the mark.
So, new bowler introduced on the southern end. Coming around the wicket with off spin, and this one's going to be a no ball, actually, signaled by the umpire.
Really showing she can do it all. She had a good knock earlier with the bat earlier, and she was a wicket keeper for the first 10 overs of this innings, and now she has the ball in hand. So doing a bit of everything, Kiwal Singh.
Well, interesting, because it's been a no ball, which means a free hit, then a wide, which means the free hit stands, then another no ball. So now I am getting confused as to how many free hits we're going to have. But this is still a free hit on offer here. Down the leg side, it's going to be wide again. So no ball wide has been the order of the day. And since Kawal Singh has come in, I think she has a really good action. You know, bowling that off spin. It's interesting that she's chosen to come through and around instead of just over the wicket. And I think she's going to come over the wicket now. And I think just going through and around is what threw her off a little bit with the trajectory going down the leg side. So she's over the wicket now. And there you go, as straight as you like.
Yeah, much better. There, Dina, she probably heard you from up here.
Well, I'm sure she heard her coach, because they've been screaming their lungs out there. But that is the intensity of the game. This one dragged down and wide outside the off stump. In fact, she released a little bit late on this occasion, and that's why it went wide outside the off stump. So I think just seeing her enthusiasm, she's a bit excited to rush through these overs and get bowling. I think she just needs to calm down a little bit and take her breath, take her time, and just focus on the target, because she has all the skill to hit some good areas, as we've seen. This time angling down leg, so this is some tough going now.
Yeah, struggling to get that perfect line and length, Kiwal Singh. But a great Adina, she seems a very capable bowler, just struggling to get that line. Again, another wide.
Now she's gone back to through and around. And you know, it's not an easy transition to go from keeping into bowling. You know, you want to get a little bit of warm up. You want to maybe just do a bowl through to one of the fielders out there, bowl a few balls just before you get started. So, you know, while she does have the skill, being able to transition in a match. Now, I wouldn't know if she's accustomed to doing this season, but in this situation, I think it just needs a little more refining. And she's back over the wicket. No, she's through and around again. lofted into the leg side, just over the close catcher there. So she gets one, and that's only the second delivery of this over. Legal, that is.
Wow, very long over here by Kiwal Singh. She'll be hoping to get some more deliveries on target like that previous delivery. Kiwal Singh. Yeah, much better from Kiwal Singh.
Well, the single was on, but it didn't take it. And that's the nature of the game now. You know, the singles are coming via wides. So it's the batters are there, as you see. Muller 4 from 10, Smith 2 from 8. All they have to do, like the Captain Phillip was doing, was just be watchful out there.
So another wide by Kiwal Singh. Turning out to be a very long over here. Better line.
Well, half-heartedly appeal there to the umpire, as we see. Was it a stumping or caught behind? Either way, it's a dot ball, which is what they need right now. Rio Claro East. Rio Claro West are quietly getting closer to that target based on what's happening. And that's why Muller can just play this one down. It's good technique, good line and length there. You see the captain Maya Harry. Sorry, the opening bowler Harry has one more. This one's has to be a no ball for height. And there it is, a free hit signal again. Muller on strike this time.
Yeah, really tough going here for Kiwal Singh. So they struck on the offside, well, a misfield, so they'll get a second run. So 2 more to the total.
Yeah, Muller backed away to give herself some room, even though it seemed a bit wide, and she got it over the infield of the offside, and the misfield got them too, as you mentioned. And at the end of that very long over from Kiwal Singh, with 12 from it, it means that it's 66 for 4 with some 24 runs now needed for victory.
Yeah, well, just 24 48 balls here. Rio Claro West certainly in the driver's seat here. But Rupchan and company will be hoping to still fight back in this contest, because they will have to take some wickets here. Rupchan will start a third over.
A little bit of drift there from Rupchan. Maybe a little bit too full. Smith is able to just drive it. I think with the bounce that Rupchan gets, if she can hit some good lengths, just a little back from being full, she's be quite a handful. That one still full, angled into the right-hander. Nice to see a drive into the leg side. Looks like a good technique there from Smith. But a couple of dot balls is a really good start here.
Smith again showing some intent, but not able to keep the scoreboard ticking. Another dot ball. So 66 for 4. Rio Claro West. 90 is the target.
You can see Smith is looking to drive here. Let's see how Rupchan reacts. That's full. It's going to be a wide. Keeper misfields, but the third man fielder will pick it up. So 3 good ones and a wide afterward. I think that length can come back a little bit, but those lines for those first 3 deliveries were spot on from Rupchan.
This one is hit in the air, with it lands safely over the head of the mid-wicket fielder. I think the difference in this match, Dinesh, has been the extras. A lot of extras being conceded by Rio Claro East. Rio Claro West was a lot more disciplined in their bowling.
100% right there, Jelani. That's, at the end of the day, the consistency and the accuracy is probably going to determine the outcome. That being said, another wide. So what's been the difference of the team? Both teams full of talent. Both teams developing players. I think that the ability to string together consistent deliveries has been the difference so far. That's a beautiful delivery from Rupchan. That's what I was talking about all day long. When you get that good length with the bounce that she extracts, it's going to be very difficult to hit. In fact, it might be easier to flat bat or play off the back foot. It's not going to be drivable.
Well, she attempts a drive at this one. It was a fuller pitch delivery, but doesn't make contact, so that's the end of another over. And at the end of it, Rio Claro West in pursuit of 90 for victory, or 69 for 4.
Well, at this point, I remember Harry has 1 over. I think Samlal did well. We'll see Samlal on the ball now. So with Samlal there, with Harry having 1 more, I still think they have some consistent bowlers to come that can bring this game really close. And that's what it's going to need. Samlal's figures 5 runs from just 3 overs. And I think one of that was a wide that she could have, you know, it could have been 4 runs from 3 overs. And so this is her final one now. She's going to, a maiden here would do wonders for her.
Would like to get among the wickets as well. This one is driven, not where she intended. It goes down to third man. They get a single.
They get a single. Diving and sliding stop there from, it looked like Ashley Ruplal there. That is a beautiful conditions to do that. As I walked out on the field this morning, Jelani, I just thought, wow, I'd love to dive around on this field. Like, you go to some fields and it's hard in the dry season. It's like a soft carpet out there. But I digress.
Yeah, I must say, good job by the groundsmen here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy.
And these are the beautiful conditions and top-class international conditions that you want our young cricketers playing in. So it's a beautiful opportunity. I mean, it's a tough trade-off to be in Rio Claro, where there would have been a packed community environment full of liveliness and enthusiasm as we hear the tassa and the music and the shouts, you know, but it's still worth it here for them to get this experience in these conditions. It's something you'll never forget as a young cricketer, to be able to play in a top facility.
Certainly, Dinesh. Right now they will be focused on this job at hand. Rio Claro West also to get, they have just 19 more runs needed for victory.
Yeah, Samlal's been exceptional. Really stands out here as a consistent bowler in those areas.
Yeah, the only thing missing is a couple wickets for Samlal. Can she get one here in her remaining 4 deliveries?
But she's really close to doing that. I mean, I just looking at this matchup, Mullah has faced a lot of balls from Samlal and has been unable to make contact with many of them. In fact, she had to back away just to hit one. So let's see how Samlal continues here.
This one is driven by Mullah. He'll get a single.
Yeah, cover will pick it up there, as you saw on the 30-yard circle. Harry's in there in a short position trying to stop that single, but that drive beat Harry. Put Smith now on strike, who looked pretty adept at driving.
Schiffern again. They think of one, they will a bit of hesitation, but they will complete the single.
Well, that's really good running. Even though the throw came in a little bit late and it hit the stumps, they put a lot of pressure on the fielder there. Smith is fast, so she hit that one and she called for it, knowing that she would get there in time. So that was really important for them. So 4 runs from this over, and it's just 1 delivery left. Beaten again, Mullah. So that's the end of a beautiful spell from Sam Lal. 9 runs from 4 overs. She didn't get any wickets, but in the context of this game, that is absolutely priceless.
Yeah, but she's been watching all the other bowlers conceding a lot of runs, a lot of extras, but not Sam Lal. She's been excellent today. Only thing missing is a wicket or 2 to her name, but great effort, nevertheless.
And now is a little bit of difficulty that comes in for Rio Claro East in determining who is going to bowl. And it looks like Harry is going to bowl now. She's got 1 left, and she's, other than Sam Lal, she's been the bowler that has been the most effective for Rio Claro East. And so now with things getting closer to that target, just 17 needed in 36 balls, she's put her hand up and said, all right, well, I'm going to bowl my final one and see how much I can keep this game in our favor, because it's slowly creeping away from them now. If they're able to get a maiden here, it's going to help them a lot. But the question is, after this is going to be, who's going to bowl after this? That's good. That's going to be the tough question. Oh, that one, tough decision. That was a tough one to call there. It looked really close. I feel like I would have given the benefit there, but not an easy job to be an umpire.
Yeah, just outside that marker.
You know, where the ball is when it passes the line. You know, I know it ends up outside, but where was it when it passed? So, oh, good areas there from Harry. Swing and a miss from Smith. The second one we've seen this over. That could go anywhere. Would love to see a slip and play here, but keeper's got to be sharp. Shouts from the Rio Claro West girls bench of, you've got to stay through this inning. Just patience is what is needed. Oh, this one is full on leg stump into the leg side. No run. Another dot ball.
Yeah, just 16 runs required for Rio Claro West. 6 wickets in hand, so still more than 5 overs to go. So very much in command here, Rio Claro West. Harry definitely needs to get a wicket or 2 for her team. Can she deliver? Harry driven down the ground.
Yeah, nice drive. Smith looks really strong on the front foot. She's anything close to her, she's been trying to drive. It looks a decent technique as well. But Harry's been really good here. Couple deliveries left from her spell.
This one is driven in the air, land safely. We'll get 1. We'll have to stay at 1. So 1 more to the total, 75 for 4. Rio Claro West.
Over cover from Smith lofted. Kawal Singh is out there, but it didn't stay area long enough for her to get to it. So in the end, I'll give the batter the benefit of the control there. Harry's got 1 more. It's Mullah on strike.
Driven not where she intended, but a run away for 4. So 4 more runs to the total. The inch ever so closer to this target, Rio Claro West.
Not a bad delivery in the context of this game. Muller just threw her hands at it outside off stump, got the edge and went for 4. Had there been a slip in place there, it may have been a different outcome. But at the end of 15 overs now, there we see it, 79 for 4. Just 11 runs required now for victory of 5 overs, 30 balls. So this is the discussion I mentioned before, Jelani. They're deciding now, well, who's going to bowl this? Who do we trust in this tight situation? We've given everything we have now with Samlal and Harry. They would wish they had about 7 more overs of those two or 5 more of those two. But in the end, they're going to have to make a decision. It looks like it's going to be Duki from the southern end to continue. And it's going to take a big effort here because it's all in the favor now of Rio Claro West getting over that line based on what we've seen so far.
Yeah, Harry and Samuel completing their 4 overs apiece, so no more overs from them. So somebody else will have to try to get the job done here for Rio Claro East. Can it be Daniel Duki? Duki into Smith now. Another play, and it runs down to the boundary. It may have enough on it, and it does. So 4 more to the total. Just 7 required now for Rio Claro West.
Well, was that a catch? Let's look at it. Oh, the fielder was walking to her left. Well, why was she moving from that position? It would have gone straight to her. In the end, she blindsided herself, and it ran away to the right of her, and it went for 4.
Yeah, so just 83 for 4 Rio Claro West. This game slipping away from Rio Claro East now. And I don't see them coming back from this point of the match. Just 7 required and 29 deliveries. But you never know. They can't throw in the towel just yet.
Smith is driving. This one's into mid-on. And Smith has looked really adept at driving. She's got a nice high backlift. Bouncing that backlift as if to show some intent there. Ready to go, Smith. Loud shout. Outside leg stump though.
Smith and Muller, this partnership has been worth more than 30 runs, but a lot of extras in the partnership, benefiting from some loose bowling. This one driven down the ground. So 7 runs required. Tuki down the leg side, so another run.
That's been the difference today, hasn't it? The consistency and the accuracy. And that's been the difference between the two teams. The ability to do the right things, hit the right areas over and over again is what has led to this outcome today. Jelani's laughing because he hears the chants from the Rio Claro West team, which is they're chanting 6 more to send them home.
Yeah,
because
Rio Claro West dressing room's definitely sensing the victory now.
I tell you what, Jelani, they can smell that victory just like I could smell that KFC that you're having.
Yeah, we're gonna thank KFC for sponsoring 360 TV.
Driven straight back. This could be the field. And it could go all the way. In fact, it does. 4 runs for Smith. She's been eyeing that up all inning. And this one played into her arc there. Full outside off stump. And as straight as you like, 4 runs.
Yeah, so that brings the equation down just to 2 runs required. Still 4 overs remaining, so I don't think anything can stop the Rio Claro West secondary team here from pulling off this victory.
So 1 to tie, 2 to win now. And that was the end of Daniela Duki's over, her second one. So who's going to be entrusted in this position now? You know, at this stage, well, there we see the choice has been made. And there we see Rio Claro West secondary girls team on the sidelines. Look at the supporters of the Western Wolves. They've got a really nice supporters kit. I'll see if I can get a hand on one of those because they've won over another supporter here today. I'll be definitely following. Well-deserved victory by the Western Wolves here. They were spurred on by their TASA side and by all of the support that made it here to Rio. And look at what a way to end the inning with a beautiful cover drive for 4 runs. And that spells it here for us here at Cricket 360. It's been a pleasure to bring you coverage of this game from everyone involved. Jason Prasad, the producer, from myself, Dinesh Mahabir, and from Jelani Beckles, who's been with us here today. The Western Wolves take this one, and they are victorious to move forward in this competition. So thank you for joining us. And remember, Jelani, we still have coming up immediately following this the Rio Claro West and East boys game in the Intercol T20 as well.
Yeah, so invite you to stay tuned. It's just in about 15 or 20 minutes time we should start that second match. And we also say thank you for our cameraman Sachin for bringing those live shots to you. So we invite you to come on. TASA, you see the TASA side, TASA group in your picture there, really bringing extra vibes to the occasion. But we ask you to stay tuned, and in about 20 minutes time we'll have action of game number 2.